Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Covenant Livestream. I just got off of Safari to come in and tell Zach Arthurian Legends solo can be just as good as the combined format decks in Sorcery, and I'm here to prove it.
That's your thesis.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have a supporting argument, as we were talking about this morning.
And, of course, I'm playing the strongest avatar from Arthurian Legends, maybe in the game, the Templar.
Should we consider everything you've said a joke, or is that just that one sentence a joke?
I love this avatar, by the way. This is my new avatar. You know why? The text is minimal, and the objective is clear. Play knights. You get -1 on them.
In the deck building process, I do really enjoy when you can have such a clear North Star.
Yeah.
And then build around it.
Because you build the basic idea, which is upfront and obvious to most people, and then you squeeze it into something that can actually win.
Yeah. Do you think today is the day?
I think I've got a shot. I mean, I think if we can jam like 4 or 5 games,
you could get
we could probably get one.
You got like a 10-15%er in there.
It depends on what you're playing too. I don't know what you're playing.
So
every deck has a weakness.
I didn't want to just keep running back the same. I've changed decks every time technically that we've done this year challenge.
You did 2 Avatar of Earths, but different.
Yes.
One was air and one was fire.
One had fire and then I did air.
Nice.
And so there's a few things going on that are worth noting. And I do want to talk before we get into actually playing sorcery about the Ashes POD.
Talk a little, some news. There's been some news.
But the deck I'm playing today, because you said you were using the best avatar. So I am using the sorcerer.
The worst.
It was clearly the worst
yeah.
of the avatars. It's not Archimago. I've heard through the grapevine that he's just
You would understand it if you saw the deck list.
Yeah, you just don't play units and you just get them.
You play all the spells, and then you drop 2 Craterizes for 20 damage, and you have 2 Divine Healings, so you heal for 14 or whatever. Right. And you have all the removal spells on tap, Earthquake, Bury, etc. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
We've been in games long enough, dude.
That's not
Once
my
you
sorcery.
have a linear strategy that is so simple to execute, it's going to be in the meta deck for a while.
But there's a reason I'm playing this year's sorcerer.
The draw 2, I think, is the idea.
Well, that's pretty good. But the real reason is because I had to play today Sir Lancelot, this promo version.
Well, I'm surprised you're not playing the Templar.
Of the card.
Only costs 5.
That is true. Yep.
Not the best of the 6-cost knights, sadly.
But that meant I needed to play Fire Earth.
Cool.
And I already done Fire Earth, Avatar of Earth. And so this was just what?
Did you swap them?
No. It is actually a different deck. So that's what I'll be playing today. And the reason that I wanted to play Lancelot, of course, if you missed it somehow, look at this. We posted a video yesterday. I had the privilege, absolute joy and privilege of sitting down with Liz Danforth in Vegas at SorceryCon last November to talk about this piece of art, which was the art that was used on the exclusive promo that comes with the subscriptions. The boxes sent through the subscriptions. We launched a playmat yesterday. We have a limited number of these. They are available right now, shipping within a business day, like everything that is not a pre-order through our system. And I absolutely love and adore it. In fact, this is my copy.
Hey, do you have that mirror realm around?
Yeah, it should be up
We were
top
going to
over
look
there.
at the grid lines. I
Some
imagine it's the same template. That
ASMR going on here.
Yeah. All right, I need to adjust that.
Where is that?
It should be up top above on the right.
Yeah.
All right, everybody's gonna go for a ride.
Wow, this is huge
It is.
comparatively.
Yeah.
So is this like? Hold on, sorry, I missed you.
I'm getting it centered on the new camera placement.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be
Some shenanigans.
give me
Yeah, so this is the template for some of the other masks that they printed. This was like the original one.
Yeah, well, I've heard that the 2-player grid template is bigger than the 1-player grid template,
It is definitely bigger.
and that's probably because they aren't choosing the size of this material, and so they're making the grids. I don't know, but the grids on the Lancelot mat as well are not numbered.
Yeah, that's right. So, do we have a single player one?
I don't know if we have an official single-player one here. We have the SorceryCon Seattle floating around
Well,
somewhere.
that's hardly a reference point.
Like I said, we don't have the official.
So 2 Lancelots, Divergent, Yellow Wood. Look at that.
Look at that.
Actually, that is pretty cool. Okay, I'm not a I'm a landscape site playmat person,
It needs to come towards you.
but this is kind of looks like a playing card.
Yeah,
It's
you-
got that old Dory.
You can be
card.
honest. You love the art, but you
It's
saw the
just-
mat and you
it's
were
not
like,
what I
I
would
don't
put
know. I don't know.
I don't want it.
I saw the mat and was immediately buying it, even though I couldn't buy it until yesterday.
We're like different in that way.
In many ways, it turns out.
That's the only way. That's literally the only way we're
So the
different.
singular way we're different.
But I gotta tell you, this actually looks very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It is. It's got that kind of like you remember that Dory double-sided.
Oh, the
Playing
twin
card style?
blades.
Yeah, twinning
twinning
blade.
blades. There it is.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
funny
That's very
what
cool.
comes in my brain.
That does look. I like that.
Yeah, it does. I'm a huge fan of this piece. Check out that video. Liz is just a gem of a person.
This is the best.
And again, shout out to her and Eric Serioso for making this happen. If you want the mat, you can get it on the website. Before we dive into the games, though, now that we've talked about would-be decks, you want to talk about this Ashes POD
Sure.
print on demand
I read the article.
announcement? So Plaid Hat has a campaign coming up for what they're calling Ashes Ascendancy. More information on that from us soon. But as part of that, they did an announcement because they have games are going to be 10 this year.
Wow.
This August is the 10-year
Decade.
anniversary. And so there's a lot of
Talk about a game that's been through the trenches, man, ups and downs.
yeah. Well, I'll give you a brief summation. You know the story, but
No, sure.
I think a summation would be good. Came out in 2015. It was a crazy success, especially for an indie studio like Plaid Hat Games at the time. Like at that time, Fantasy Flight Games owned Gen Con. I don't mean literally. I mean, they owned the buzz and the marketing and the presence of Gen Con year to year. And it started for them in 2012 with X-Wing and Netrunner.
And the LCGs were kicking at that time.
And they did not let up.
Yeah.
It's like 2012 to 2019.
What was 13?
2013 was Imperial Assault.
2014? Legion?
Conquest.
Conquest.
Legion's somewhere in here. I think that was like 2015, 2016.
Because I remember we did our Legion video.
Yeah.
We were doing them on the floor.
It was like 2016 was Destiny and Arkham.
yeah.
2017 was L5R. 2018 was Keyforge. 2019 was Marvel Champions.
That is pretty impressive.
2015 was, I think it was a combination. It was like Legion and Room Wars is in there too, and that did not hit. But anywho, I say all that to say, in the midst of like FFG, comparatively is a much bigger company with a huge presence with Netrunner. It was in between Gen Cons with the Star Wars LCG, the Conquest, and they were just like jamming.
For the in-flight report too.
Yeah. So it released. It was crazy successful. And then in the midst of that is when I believe F2Z was acquired Plaid Hat Games, and then F2Z within months got acquired by Asmodee.
And was FTZ was that related to Z-Man, or is the Z-Man unrelated to F2Z?
I think it was related.
I thought it was.
I think there was a lot of consolidation in the industry going on right there. A lot of companies got bought up, rolled up into Asmodee ultimately. And so not Ashes. I remember there was like 6-7 month period where Netrunner had nothing coming out. And that was like at the nexus of that merger happening where all that stuff's getting figured out. So there's a lot that happened to Ashes in that first year or two. Like I remember the first expansions were like impossible to get. Like genuinely, you struggle. And we did allocation, the whole night. I mean, it was very, very bad. And for an expandable game, that is like,
you can't expand if you can't expand it.
yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Anywho, so had a rough couple of years on the back of that, and then paused, and then in 2020, Plaid Hat became independent again. So Colby, the founder, kind of bought it back.
Right?
I don't know the particulars of that,
But they took with them some of the big titles like Neverwinter, Dead Winter Nights, Dead of Winter. I said Neverwinter Nights.
Neverwinter
and
Nights,
Dead
yeah.
of Winter. Dead of Winter.
Asmodee kept some of those titles, but they didn't keep Ashes, and Ashes came out. And that's when we did the PDP system, which was essentially a subscription that if enough people were subscribed, it would keep going. And here we are 5 years later, still rolling.
They would know there was enough players and enough money coming in to pay design and production costs to develop and ship the next expansion.
Yeah.
Pretty
Anywho,
simple system, really.
so in that 10-year period, a lot of products came out, including in 2020. It may not have came out in 2021, technically. We announced it in 2020. they did a conversion kit to go from Ashes to Ashes Reborn, which is kind of like a 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the original cards were compatible or legal, but some they were changing. And a lot of Angels got their wings. That was the old inside joke.
That was a huge effort.
But now, game is still here, and people are still playing it, and it's a decade later, and there's a ton of products. And so one of the problems that's been recurring is this SKU is out of print, or this thing, and there's no rotation, and it's non-collectible, so...
Tell me if this sounds familiar to every LCG you've ever played.
Oh,
the cost to get into this game is buying $300 worth of old things that I can't find anywhere.
Yeah, and you only need like one card from this pack, one card from this pack.
Yeah.
Because fundamentally, the LCG model itself, one of the major upsides is that initially the cost of entry is a lot lower. And you don't deal with the randomness, the booster packs, and the collectability and stuff. But as we witnessed in the late 2010s with all of the LCGs that existed, eventually the cost starts to become comparable. And the pain actually is worse because there's these 2 chapter packs from Game of Thrones in 2011, back when they only included one of the rare cards instead of a play set of 3 in each.
I remember that. I was the host and stuff.
It's like, I need to find 3 of this pack. I remember being on the phone with a random store in the middle of Ohio because their website listed it and you couldn't buy it, but they had, and it had the Balerion and the black in it. You know, it's just like...
We tracked those babies down.
Yeah, we did. Anywho, I say all that to say they run into the thing that most everyone else ran into, and I'll do a little bit of a weave here, which is Asmodee / Fantasy Flight recently announced. Did you see the Arkham Marvel Champions stuff?
Yeah.
Which is, they're now, Marvel Champions is 5.5 years old, and
Arkham's 70.
Funnily enough,
It's been around since the beginning of time.
it is 9. So it's a
crazy.
little younger than Ashes, but they're running into the same problem. The difference with those games is they're explicitly cooperative. And so Ashes now is cooperative. They have cooperative and solo. But they decided to introduce for the first time ever in a cooperative LCG, and we can say LCG because they own that term, rotation.
Yeah.
Which is, there's certain SKUs for early Marvel Champions are going to go away. And the article they posted was talking about a mix of reasons, one of which being keeping 100 different SKUs in stock permanently is not really feasible. It's difficult, and it's even difficult to, especially if your primary channel is retail. Like, no retailer wants to have 100 different Marvel Champions packs on the show.
Especially at a fixed price. That's pretty low.
Yeah. So they're going to rotate out. They're going to make packs that aren't legal.
They basically said there's 2 formats. There's like Infinity, Forever, Eternity format, which is everything, and then there's the format that we are designing new cards to fit into.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like, I'm only looking at interactions that are in this most, let's say, two years worth of cards, and then anything, if it breaks anything beyond that back in the background, that's for you guys to figure out.
And I definitely can appreciate collectible games often have a rotation policy where there's only so much content that is legal in events and tournaments. But even picturing, you eventually get to a point where it's hard to design something because something you designed early is just strictly better, or this is just a silver bullet to those things. Yeah. So, maybe the way you design Captain America makes this villain not even a challenge. And so it's like, well, you put yourself in a box.
Like stun was too prevalent and confused is too prevalent, and then you had to make everything immune to stun and confuse.
And you stacked on stacked on stacked on stacked. Yeah. So anywho, that's what they decided to do. They just decided to say these are going to be out of print. We're not going to make them again, and we're not even going to design for them anymore.
Which we could talk. We should probably spin up the podcast about this because now those products are collectible.
Get the podcast engine running.
Has nothing to do with randomization.
Yeah.
Booster
Well,
packs.
I was explaining the chapter packs we were trying to hunt down for Thrones. They were very collectible.
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for that, but it wasn't MSRP either. I'll tell you that. I that last Balerion cost me a pretty. What's the currency in Game of Thrones? I don't know. It's the iron price, but anyways, I had to pay more than $15 for it. Is the main point. So, meanwhile, Plaid Hat comes out swinging, and this is beyond anything else they're doing with Ashes Ascendancy. This is a notable sea change, which is actually all cards are going to be available print on demand. We're going to launch a deck builder. You can build a deck. You can hit a button, and we'll print it and ship it to you.
Or you can get a sheet. It'll send you a PDF. You can print it at home and cut it and use it.
Yep.
Or you can send it to the POD factory, and then probably in a few weeks, they'll actually ship those cards printed to you.
Yeah. So this is definitely a innovative. Like, it's crazy, actually.
It's great. Yeah.
It's an innovative solution to a common problem that these particular games face, where it's really solving a lot of things. One, you don't have to print this back catalog, but also if you're a new player, you can go find a deck that you like on the deck builder and hit a button, and the deck shows up.
Yeah, so that alone could be a new game model. Like,
It's crazy.
that could even solve the LCG format and potentially. Maybe you don't even need products in stores anymore.
Or products at all.
Or products
You
at
just
all.
literally-
Zach, what are we gonna do?
No, I'm
Well, here, if print on demand can be as good a quality as like a bajillion-dollar printing equipment, then that's when the sea change will be.
yeah, and
I think obvious.
I think it's pretty good. You look at something like a Keyforge deck, and I know that's being printed digitally, and it's being printed in a technologically similar kind of way, because each deck is unique, and so like the way that is being queued up. So you can imagine a game where releases are just new cards being added to the deck builder,
Right.
and then you got to do it. I do know to a degree, and I don't know what degree this is, the quality is going to be slightly different. Generally, something's going on the screen. Is it the
I
screen?
see it.
No,
Wow.
it's the screen of the camera. Can you guys see it like getting darker and lighter?
It wasn't the lights,
It's
man.
not the lights.
It's either the display or it's the
It
camera.
must be the display.
So
I will do our best.
yeah, you're good.
That's fine.
No, it's not this. It's the main camera.
No, it's the camera that's doing it.
Main camera, baby.
It's the. Let's see if it's switch camera.
There's a ghost in the
Nothing
machine.
changes, man. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
That's a real ghost right there. Has it stopped doing anything?
It stopped, but it's on the darker mode of the two.
Yeah. Well.
You want to go back to your main shot and see if it's?
Yeah.
Well, we're live, baby.
Yeah.
This is live. I mean, that looks pretty nice.
Dark, but
Here,
it's a little moody.
I'll pump you up. Maybe just like got caught in between.
A grand pause is really not good for an abstract thinker such as myself. My train has run off the tracks.
I'll catch you up. But in the grand scheme of things, what has happened is Ashes is going back to Kickstarter. They're going to launch a brand new core set called Ashes Ascendancy. That's going to kick off a new line of products that are under the Ashes Ascendancy tagline, and everything that came before it is now being print on demand, like Keyforge. And is there a role for packaged products in card games? It's very similar to 3D printing and miniatures. I mean, are we getting to like a full scale outsourced to the player solution for both cards and minis?
Yeah. I think the two primary pieces of this are quality and price, which is the print on demand quality being subjective to a degree in terms of what you like and feel. I might be an old person that's just used to how these cards are supposed to feel, but most of these cards go in sleeves anyway, though. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there's a quality component and there's also a price component. Print on demand should not, but if it can, then now we're in for a different world. But should not be at the same quality level as printing at scale.
Yeah.
It
The science, the laws of the universe would say that it's not possible.
It should be
economies of scale, etc.
Yeah, so it should be, I'm assuming, we don't know the details on this yet, but I'm assuming the price per card will be more expensive. And so if you're an Ashes player and you just buy everything as it comes out, that is part of it that's baked into the price is not just the, printing a singular deck, obviously less efficient than printing 10,000 copies of the same thing, right? But then you have the logistics of all of it too, where you don't get any sharing of costs.
Yeah. So each individual shipping charge.
Yeah.
happening.
Now, a lot of times, I mean, if you're buying it like from us, you're paying shipping anyway. So that's like neutral from a player perspective. But even the cost to make the product itself should be higher per unit. And so then presumably the cost to the players will be higher per unit. So there's like a cost savings to doing it traditional where you have a standard product that's releasing all that kind of stuff.
Man, what's weird though is that almost just makes sense for the randomized booster pack games, because like the LCG format, it's an extra $5, and you can just print the deck that you want. That's like 15 to 20. It doesn't really matter, right?
Even if a traditional release for an LCG, and they've drifted up, right? I think there's like Asmodee's packs are like $18 or something at this point.
Not like that Costco hot dog.
But yeah, that is rip. So it's funny. I'm trying to communicate less chaotically, so I'm not going to take the Costco tangent. Cita saying, "Hey boys, with all the POD from Ashes, we might acquire a lot of cards. Is there some kind of device I can use to help me store those cards?"
Oh,
that's a brilliant
That's
question.
something you can't print at home.
Let me just see. Can I find anything around the office that might be good for storing?
I tell you what, I found one of these devices that I've used to deck build today to get my Knights deck.
Also, Cita is clearly hipping with it. He has gotten the message. Thank you, Cita.
This is one that I don't think you can print on demand.
I feel like really what we need to enter the modern era of content creation is
Backwards hats.
we need a sponsor that provides us with protein so that we can go from bulk boxes to bulking. We're in our bulk phase, you see. And
So it's Zach's bulky boys.
That's right, bulky boys. In fact, the protein could be the Beefy Boys protein, you know?
There you go. Yeah. Beefy Boys protein
Yeah.
powder. That's two alliterations in the same sentence. Beefy Boys protein powder.
BBPP.
This is a bulk box, 3,800. That's the number of cards in some kind of world. I think those are standard cards, 3,800 of those bad boys. Not sleeved, surely.
You're asking me for details?
Probably on the website. We probably put it in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
Anyway, you wouldn't believe what you can put in this thing.
Cards.
Cards. Look at that.
I love bulk box,
You can even
man.
put them like this
Yeah.
if you want to. I wouldn't, but
If you haven't checked out bulk box, do. I was surprised at how much I like this product compared to what I was using before I was using
I
it.
see a lot of people post in our Discord about this or that game, and sometimes there's the bulk box like showing the collection. I'm like,
There it is.
Ah, yeah.
But to your
Alex.
point, of course, collectible randomized packs, doing that print on demand would be, I don't know, maybe it would work, but that seems
Yeah,
crazy.
nobody wants that.
But
either.
LCGs, yeah, if you go from an $18 pack, even if it's, let's say it's a $30 deck, it's pretty wild. And also, like, releasing is literally just adding new cards. Like, you could have a drop every month of new cards that are happening, and you just do it. Now, Ashes is not doing this, right? There's still products coming out, but there's really clever things they can do in this ecosystem. So I'll be curious how far they push it. Of course, it requires them to build a deck builder. They also have to have the technology to do this in the first place. There's a lot of moving pieces in it, but this is one of the more innovative happenings in especially the, like, maybe just the card game world in a long time.
What's weird is like they're so indie and so small, and they're almost kind of like dunking on Altered. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they have all this community ecosystem, marketplace, et cetera, and at the end of the day, it's just like you can just print the cards you need and get them delivered.
Well, that's a good thread to pull on, because my immediate read on Altered, I'm still open to it. I have nothing against Altered.
We still
Hasn't
gotta
launched
play
yet.
those
The marketplace
decks.
hasn't launched yet.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's real.
Eventually,
I keep an eye on it, but
So I'm not going to dive into that piece of it. I'm going to stay on topic here, which is
we'll play the decks. We'll play the
Altered-
deck eventually.
Altered to
wow.
me.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do have some decks at my house for that.
Yeah.
Altered felt like a solution in search of a problem.
right, like
The
most of that
Ashes
stuff.
POD announcement feels like a solution in response to a problem. And immediately, like, I saw it, it's like, that makes total sense. Like, this is, and you can get the print file, or you just want to print it at home as a printer before you commit to printing the real thing, or just use that.
Yeah.
It's in sleeves if that's what you want to do. Just crazy accessible, and it is cool because they are such an indie studio doing something. I'm trying to think of something in the past 5 or 10 years in the card game space that is on a similar.
Keyforge, right?
That's probably the number one thing I was
close.
thinking about. Just truly doing something. Paper packs is a pretty big deal, but that's
That's
a nice thing to do.
It's not revolutionary. It's an evolution.
Yeah,
It's
there
progressive.
it is. Yeah, but it really feels like this could be the start of a whole new branch, and I don't even think it's fully. There's 1,000 things you could do off the back of this that are totally different.
Yeah, because my mind goes immediately to productless card game. Like there's so many indie publishers that reach out to us and talk about, this great idea that they have for this or that game. And a lot of times the systems are good and the ideas are good. And, most of the time the art is under and the templating is under graphic design, like all of those kinds of things. But if you could, instead of investing in packaging and product and facility and factory and all of that, if you could take all that money, put it into graphic design and art, and then just host a database that people can print from. So somebody's, maybe it's Christian. Seriously, this is like right up Christian's alley.
Yeah.
If he could just like launch a public thing that's like, send me any file and we'll print it and send it to you, and then publishers could link into that system.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a Christian
I'm
thing. Christian Peterson, by the way, not necessarily
Yeah,
a follower of Christ.
That is
Christians
funny,
are gonna
actually, if you don't
love
have
this,
context. Yeah. Christian Peterson is was the founder of Fantasy Flight Games and was at the helm of what I would consider a very dominant 2010s in terms of the non-collectible card game space.
Yeah.
Like it, crazy. And he's doing they now own Keyforge. Ghost Galaxy Games is the primary publisher there. So I always have my eyes out just to see.
Yeah.
Because I know he's cooking.
He's always got irons.
I know he's cooking, man.
He's always got
I
irons
can't
on
wait. I can't wait to see what he's doing. So, anywho, if you haven't seen the Ash article, it's really cool. I think there's a lot of. It's cool to see them doing something so different. I'm excited to see
that
what
is
happens.
actually solving a problem. I think that you nailed it with that. It's like, okay, yeah. Like that's such a great thing.
It's solving lots of problems, actually.
You see so many new entrants into these spaces that are like, oh, is your game different? And it's like, whoa, it's got 17 cards per pack. It's like, that's not a problem that people have.
Yeah. Well, I'm just picturing when I think about problems that, and this is one of those problems that you only know is a problem if you've been there. It's not theoretically a problem you would discover. What I mean by that is, go back to my Thrones example. When we first started playing Thrones, if I could build a deck, go on and buy a deck for $30 that's sent to me, I don't have to know the name of any of the 18 million different chapter packs that are out, or how many copies. Is this one of those chapter packs that only has one of the card in it, or three? Can I even find it? If I literally could just, there's a deck builder, I build it, I hit a button, and it's sent. That's really powerful.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
Look, barrier of entry goes so far down, and I just remember onboarding people into that too.
Yeah.
And it was like we had to be experts at the history releases of Game of Thrones and helping people try to find these things.
And psychological support of like, yes, you will not use any other cards in that pack that you just paid $20
Yeah, 100%. But or
you need that one.
You go on the deck builder, you see a deck you like. It's like, hit the button, it's on the way. That's crazy. And then you solve that problem and lower the barrier of entry, but then also you solve the ever needing to reprint. Previous thing about Arkham early on, I remember there was that one pack that had some really good investigator card.
No, it had charisma.
It's like a library or like a, what was the Arkham
Museum?
The Miskatonic Museum.
Yeah.
There's museum. There's, and if you could just go on and build an Arkham deck and hit a button right now, I can't even imagine. I own all the cards. I would do it.
I would do it just not to sort.
That's what I'm saying. I would literally, but I wouldn't buy all the player cards. I would literally just buy the decks I played.
Yeah.
And then, in a weird way, it's like, well, now I have this deck. Okay, I'll buy a different deck. Now I have this deck.
Yeah.
And you're kind of doing this thing. And then they also had the problem where a pack was gone, so you couldn't play the story, or this cycle is just, you can't play the story because it's out.
Yeah.
If at any point you could go on and just buy a story when you're ready to play it, like. And it's
Why
particularly.
didn't we do this? Why didn't we think of
Well,
this?
it's particularly relevant the smaller you get.
CEO.
It's particularly
So much for
relevant.
leadership.
It's particularly relevant the smaller you get, right? Because at a certain scale, you just can print enough that it's not really ever a problem. But what you don't want to be doing is doing a bunch of minimum print runs
Yes.
to trickle it out.
Right.
And that's where this becomes like hyper efficient.
Yeah. I'm with you. Cool. Stan, what I like about this is that if the decks aren't super expensive for printing, I can print out a few beginner decks, teach people, and then let them have the decks. That's right. That's it.
Have you guys heard about this one?
Yeah, Make Playing Cards. I bought the Netrunner set for Make Playing Cards.
Yeah. They're doing that stuff.
Yeah, they're kind of they're a little bit more, they're certainly more universal. They're trying to appeal to anyone who needs a card of any kind, playing cards.
Right.
Or
Wow. Okay.
They kind of, I think, sideways got into gaming cards because people were asking for it. But they're also, they're player pointed.
Okay.
So like it's the person who wants the product that they're pointed at. Whereas I think you could have a solution that's pointed at publishers. Basically saying we're a portal that you can send your players with your own branding and stuff to go.
You
through.
upload all your cards, and then here's a deck builder tool, and here's the thing.
We shouldn't say any more of this, dude. We should just do this.
Just do it.
Are we solving? We're solving a different problem. Soon to be released. What is soon even anymore? It gets longer
Soon
in my head.
TM. Yeah.
Is it within 5 years? Oh, that's coming up.
I don't know. Danny Goodnight, big Flesh and Blood headline is a Viserai living legend.
Yeah,
Any
what do you
thoughts
think
on
about that? How do you feel? Because we're now on the outside of Flesh and Blood. We're observers. Be honest. We don't have the time to compete, and we've kind of lost the spark. And sorcery has made us want to build like pig decks and stuff. So, how do you feel about seeing the love of your life, Viserai, your favorite hero in Flesh and Blood, finally living legend out without you having anything to do with it? No points at all.
That's not true. I contributed some points to the board. There's a scroll they keep for anyone that scored living legend points for a hero. Anywho, how do I feel about it?
Yeah, get in touch with your feelings.
Well, it's pretty crazy to think he originally technically released about 5 years ago. Literally, this month.
That's wild.
A little bit before the pandemic started. Then the pandemic hit, and then the rest is history. That's a long time for something to be legal in that game.
That's true.
Yeah, so he had a long time of being not so good. I'm happy that he was good. I'm a little glad I wasn't there for it because I don't know if I would have been as interesting if it's just the clear thing that people are doing.
We're not. That's why we were never really great at Flesh and Blood. Is because you really just can't. You really can't be super off meta and creative.
Yeah, I think you could early.
Yeah.
And then
Only so many sixes in the game.
That gap, though, even just the players, like enough players got in and enough players got good enough that you can be a little different, but it's
got to be hard. And it's got to be in a ruthless direction where like I included the one weird card that counters this one specific thing, and that's why it's good. Like I built 8 versions of this Knights deck with varying degrees of beasts and knights and all of that, and that's just not something Flesh and Blood doesn't really reward that level of deck building.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's very low variance because it's this super competitive, lot of stakes game.
Let's try on.
But yeah, he's out. I mean, I got rid of all of my fab stuff that wasn't Runeblade or Guardian or generic. So now a large part of what I kept is probably not playable in a real way.
Financial decision too from our boy over here.
Yeah. Well, they've actually been leaning into the Living Legend format.
They need to.
As like they've had Collins that are Living Legend now. So
really?
Yeah.
The chain one?
No. But they've also Starvo definitely has won some events for sure. But Prism is also like pretty disgusting apparently. Viserai as well as that because he gets Skeleton back and all that kind of stuff. Most stuff is unbanned, but they have banned things from Living Legend as well. Because it's just like
so bad.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I wouldn't say it's useless, but I presently have no plans to enter back into. I can't imagine trying to do what I was doing.
You're entering back into the Living Legend format exclusively.
Yeah, I only play.
Really funny.
I only play Viserai at Living Legends events, and I have a specific deck that I play. It doesn't change. It's just this is what I do. No, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a Living Legend system is a really cool way to do rotation to tie to this topic somehow. So it's cool. I assume that means there'll be a new version coming out. So if I were playing still, I'd be probably excited to be like, what's the new Viserai going to be?
Is Viserai going to convert to the light? You always thought Dory was going to convert to the dark, but maybe it's Viserai to the light. Yeah. You maybe have to get back in.
What is the light?
Because then we could test together. We both play light heroes. And then, we'd finally, our full potential would be reached.
We'd finally be aligned.
Okay, anything else we need to talk about or want to talk about?
One more question.
I'll talk forever.
Right now. Okay, here we go.
Zach and I will talk literally forever.
There's actually 2 that are really good, but this is the actual question.
When did we start the YouTube channel?
2008.
Long ago.
2008?
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking a lot since then. We've talked so much on camera, especially.
I bet we've talked twice as much as we ever talked from 2020 to now than the time before that. The 5 days of streaming was next level.
That's accurate.
Insane.
Hey, now is that
Jiao?
I think it's Jiao Guilherme Madeira. Carajo.
That sounds
You were
pretty good.
a significantly braver man than I.
I mean, I can't. It's not disrespectful to try. I always like trying to honor the language. Hey, folks, how would you compare Gudnak and Sorcery being two examples of tactical card games, and both actually happen on a grid? Maybe that's what tactical means in this context.
Yeah.
I think tactical should mean grid-based.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise tactics and strategy don't really have a significant difference. Although that's also not true, because
Some people would argue that.
If you think about Hamilton,
grid-based.
Hamilton can know the strategy of the game in a second, and then he executes it on a turn-by-turn basis in a tactical way.
Yeah, there's definitely
When do you interrupt, et cetera, et cetera.
in card games there is a distinct difference between the two, and Hamilton is probably one of the greatest strategic card game players I've ever engaged with. That's his actual secret.
So Gudnak. So I mean, to me, if there's one of the spectrums of a card game,
I'm excited to see where this is going.
is just basically light and heavy, or you might think of that as complex and simple is the wrong word for this, but streamlined. Let's say complex, streamlined. There's something there. So on one side of that, Gudnak sits for me. It's a good 20-minute game. It has a lot less decision points ultimately than a game like Sorcery. It is thrilling, I would say, because it's more fast-paced. You can jam a lot of games out. Because there's less complexity, when something big happens, it's very big. It feels very big. So there's that kind of tension is ratcheted up in small moments that kind of explode. Whereas Sorcery is more of a longer form, complex or deep game. So you're going to go like a good 45 to 60 minutes in gameplay. You're going to make a lot of decisions. Those decisions can be very abstract as far as like, where do I place this site? Do I draw a card or do I not? Do I put this unit over here to block? Do I leave this unit standing? Do I attack this thing? What do they have in their hand? Can they respond to this thing in this way or not? Can they remove this unit? Card pool is massive. You have to account for all these different kinds of cards that your opponent might be playing. So it's more like kind of, are you playing Axis and Allies, or are you playing like, what's a good lighter like war style game? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Nothing
I would
comes to
like.
mind.
It's like, I don't know. My memory is very not great, but Axis and Allies versus Risk. Like Risk would be the more crunchy one. Axis
You
and
think
Allies would be
so?
the less.
I think Axis and Allies is crunchier than Risk.
I have
What's your other way to think about it?
well, not really an example in that specific thing. It would be, to me, and this is going too far on the first one, but Battleship versus Risk.
Sure. I think Gudnak, you could think of it like there's various levels of distilling the parts of a system down into simpler things. So this happens with indie RPGs as well. We played.
Oh yeah, Mech Hack.
We played a bunch of Mecha Hack this past weekend, and it has like a 20-page rulebook. And right, you remember like GURPS has like a 600-page rulebook. Both of them are exceedingly fun role-playing games to play, but it's a different vibe. And what Mech Hack tries to do is take the 600-page rulebook and distill it into the 20 pages that are most impactful. I think Gudnak is distilling a lot of the complex card game stuff into probably some of, if not the most satisfying things that you can get while still feeling like it's a complex card game. Like, it is definitely a distillation in the right direction.
Yeah.
You can abstract stuff where it actually starts to be bad.
You've distilled it, and what is left is only what was most meaningful before.
And
is the feeling.
Sometimes things get distilled the wrong way.
I think the scale you were trying to use, and you use the word light and heavy, I think it's just weight. Like the weight of the game, it factors for a lot of different things. Because one of the basic realities of Gudnak is that I do my two things, you do your two things. And there's very little I'm doing while you're going.
Yeah.
And so that keeps it very simple. Whereas Sorcery, while there aren't typical like instants, there's one-ish.
There's two. Dodge roll and Valor.
I thought they got rid of. Does Dodge roll still exist?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it does.
You would never see it because it's only when they're being attacked. It's not when they're taking damage.
Oh yeah,
and like as we know, nobody attacks in the game because it is a card game, and so you distill it down into its most.
Who would
winning
play
strategies.
units anyway? Anyways, so but in Sorcery, there's more. Oftentimes, there's more input you are going to have to do on their turn, which then inherently makes it heavier because you can't predict what I'm going to do. So now you have to figure out all the things I could do.
Yeah.
To mess up the 4 things on your turn you're trying to do and sequence that correctly. Whereas Gudnak, I'm not going to do anything in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to think about what can I do on my next turn, but also knowing that that's only 2 actions just keeps it very... A sorcery turn could be any number of things going on.
I'd almost compare it, I'm not a video gamer, but I'd almost compare it to like a long form, like JRPG style game to like a Hades.
Yeah.
Like, so Hades, you're running through it a bunch, and it's distilled a lot of those RPG and like character optimization stuff into a very streamlined package. But on the other side, you get this massive feeling of openness and exploration and world and card pool out here in Sorcery. So similar kinds of vibes.
I like that.
Yeah, but here's an idea.
I got one more. It's way up at the top though. It just needs to be
One more question.
Well, not really a question. It's a story.
Once upon a time.
And then we can probably jam these games. Actually, we said it was kind of like a deep, long form game, but we can probably jam these very quickly because I know exactly what needs to happen for me to win. And if it's not happening, I'm going to quit. Jonathan LeChance. Hi, I'm new to the game of Sorcery after trying Flesh and Blood, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Lorcana, ... which we assume means every other game that there is out there. It turns out I came back to this basic traditional from my 80s look game on Arthurian Legends right now. I got but a lot of fun. Yeah. Turns out this kind of game is what I've wanted for the whole time. Really. I love it. I love the wildness of what's possible, even if it's not great. I love the randomness. I love the deck building where it's just like, do I run the sea serpent or the pig fairy? Like, those are the questions that I love asking. I love B tier stuff, and in a game like this, there's just so much.
It's full of B tier stuff.
B tier stuff. It's just like, and you can do tribal stuff, right? You can be like, I want to run a deck that's all giants. I want to run a deck that's all fairies or beasts or woodland creatures or imps and demons. Like, there's so much expression in that kind of game that you don't get whenever you're playing a known IP character in the universe, looking at you, Dragon Ball, etc. I don't want to be Goku. I don't want to be Krillin. I want to be this person
More of a Piccolo guy myself.
in the universe. You know, I want it to be me. I want it to be me, Zach.
Yeah.
I don't want to play
you're the Templar.
Viserai. I want to be the Templar.
I appreciate that.
It's me. And it's great, and it's got land, and you're walking around, and
kind of talking about the weight
evocative
dynamic earlier. So Sorcery does a lot of things to account for its own weight. One of which is the top-down design. The key there being the way they write the cards is very informal. And they have the golden rule, which is, if you don't know what the rule is, do what makes sense and be cool about it, basically.
Be cool.
It's like, how should a horse work? You know? We can figure that out. So there's like a really intuitive.
Sometimes they carry swords too, so like it doesn't always go.
Yeah, but there's a intuitiveness to it that helps with a lot of the weight. But in that weight, a lot of times that crunchiness is where some of the coolest, most meaningful things happen. Like, things happen in Sorcery that I have a hard time imagining happening in Gudnak.
Any other game.
I do know we just did a commentary on a Gudnak game that's going to be going up, featuring some of the stuff in their next expansion. That was the closest I've seen Gudnak get to something I would see in Sorcery.
It was very flavorful.
But even then, it is still like 1/10 is in heavy as the way it would transpire in Sorcery necessarily.
It's just got to be contained, because really you have 5 special pieces, and in Sorcery, like, every card is
special,
can be pretty special.
You know, I don't think this is too obscure of a reference, but so this weekend when we were playing Mech Hack, we were also playing a lot of UFO 50. And UFO 50 distilled down a lot of the like big game concepts into this thing that's just perfect.
But it looked a lot like old stuff.
Yeah. So like Bushido Ball, which we played a lot of, is like that kind of reminds me of Gudnak. There are the things you can do. There's actually a whole lot there, but you could also go into a more, I guess, a modern game and have all these different.
Like play like FIFA 2025, and it's like, there's a whole lot more, but is it actually more fun? That's I think if I would say anything with that distillation analogy, which is going to be my go-to now since we've worked it out on the camera.
I like it.
But I think what Sorcery is saying is a lot of these other modern card games have been trying to distill original Magic the Gathering into what made it so good. And Sorcery is saying, actually, you've lost 90% of what made it good in that distillation process. And we're bringing that back. And that's going to bring with it some of the things that feel very undistilled. Like, sometimes the rules are confusing.
Yeah.
Or like, there's a lot to learn. And it's not easy to onboard a new player because you got to learn a lot. But maybe that was part of the charm. Maybe that
I
is
absolutely think it was.
or you can't get one without the other, perchance. Okay, so what I'm playing today, I'm playing Arthurian Legends only, which puts some very strict limitations. You find out there's not a lot of removal in Arthurian Legends, so I hope Zach's not playing units. But this is Templar is a very interesting avatar that does two things. One, it reduces the cost of one Knight, Sir, or Dame per turn. So obviously I've built a deck that has a cost curve that is trying to hit that reality. I'm running 6 of the Knights, which are the 3/2 Lance, which cost the Templar 2. I think that's the strongest thing that this deck does. Jonathan, you can pull up Blue Knight is a good example of that. Of course, one from Margaret Organ Keen, somebody who we met at SorceryCon #1. 4/2, a basically 4/2 quick strike, is an extremely good, if not fragile, unit. So this is a lot of heat for 2 costs. Very good. There are 12 of those that you have access to. If you only run 2 colors, which I am, really 3 colors, you get 6 of them that you could run. So that's a big thing. Also, Black Knight is one of the reasons, I think, to run the Templar. This is -2 if you have more health than your opponent. That brings it down another 1 with Templar. So a 2 cost 5/3, very strong. That's a good thing to be able to do. We have Poison Well in this set for fire, which is kind of an instant sight play to remove health from your opponent. So if you get a turn to play Poison Well and then play Black Knight for 2, that's a very strong thing that this deck can do. It revolves a lot around efficient units and trying to get units on the board and overwhelmingly overwhelm your opponent by making good trades. So it's kind of a rush deck, but kind of a mid-range deck, which is where I like to be, not quite on one or the other. And then supporting that with fire, we've got charge and various other things. Now the Templar is interesting because it doesn't have any additional tap ability that you're trying to use. So Sorcerer, for instance, you're trying to get to the point where you have the sights out and then you're drawing a card every turn. What Templar's tap ability is swinging for 2, or playing and drawing sights. So what I'm running, how I'm running this right now is because I don't have a super impressive ability to tap and do something. I'm not really in a rush to establish my mana pool. I'm basically going to sit at my first 3 sites, and then I'm going to spend the Templar to draw the next one, and then I'm going to spend the Templar to play the next one and draw and play.
So you would play a site, play a site, play a site, draw a site, play a site, draw a site, play a
That's
site.
right.
Draw
And
a
I'm
site,
trying to
play
get
a
to
site.
5.
And it makes sense because you have the -1, so you kind of get a cheat on the normal 4 cost play, and then you actually get 5 cost, which lets you could technically choose 6 in it. Like, you got a cascade there.
Exactly. And then also I'm taking advantage of the fact that this particular avatar, there's less of an opportunity cost involved in positioning to cast spells. Because like if the sorcerer has to move up to do something, that's losing a card. Templar, you're losing nothing basically. You could swing at their site and then do a spell because it's just not as good.
Yeah.
So
That's so funny.
My end game. This is Steam Knights is what this deck is called. My end game. This Templar should be
Steam Knights
should be lobbing snowballs and lava flows at my opponent. 2 very positional spells.
That checks out on the
Is that
Steam
where the
name.
steam comes from?
That's the Steam.
That's steam. Snowballs.
And because it's water and fire.
Okay. Oh, steam it. Yeah.
So steam. It makes steam. If you didn't know that, but yeah, lava flow and snowball are very good cards to have, and hopefully we'll end the game on one of those 2. What about you?
I just can't get over this comment that came in.
What do you got?
Can you pull up Noble's last comment? 2 Lancelot playmats on the same table equals a murder of Lancelots. It got me. I don't know why, but that's my kind of humor right there. So my deck is Earth, Fire, all the good cards. I'm not restricted to Arthurian Legends, so I'm looking to beat Steven into submission as quickly as possible. Or not.
This should be the best test because like Earth, Fire, best of with Sorcerer is got to be the gauntlet you have to beat. You just got to beat it.
Yeah, I get a sense that the not having air is something.
Mm-hmm.
Like Blink and Grapple Shot are just so unbelievably good. But
so Earth changes you more to mid range, right? Unicorns,
which makes sense with Sorcerer,
Shield
right?
Maidens,
Like,
that kind of thing.
I kind of want to get my locations out to a certain degree, and then just start 2 cards a turn in you.
Yeah,
And
just
so
bodies.
jamming it. But I did. Earlier we were talking about it's really nice to have such a centralized and clear thesis to your deck.
Mm-hmm.
So mine was actually just Sir Lancelot.
Nice.
It's like, okay, this is the guy that I want to. It's unique. I don't even know if I'm going to see him, right? But I want to see him, and if I do, I want to be able to play him. So I want to be able to get to 6 resources. I'm not playing air, so I can't cheat with the tower. That's the
That's
biggest
a big
cost
one.
denier.
That's a big one.
So I actually have to be able to get to 6. So I want the game to go on long enough that it's not so costly for me to get to a 6th site.
Cool. All right. Well, let's try it out. Now, this deck can just lose. It's about a 25% chance of just losing on the site draw. So.
Well, you want to just mulligan until you.
No, we'll play it out.
It's like
every time.
remember Marvel Champions? We're doing the was it heroic challenges where there were times where you just see your open hands like this is not good enough. We're going to restart instead of wasting 4 hours trying to maybe get even close.
Most of the time, it's draw 3 sites, mulligan all 3 if you haven't seen a triple, because you can't run the duels, and so it becomes very difficult to get the threshold needed for enough nights.
It's a bummer, man. I'm gonna. So, now is immediately my test.
There we go. We got one.
So in a competitive environment, I think I would mulligan 2 sites and keep my other cards. But I want to see Lancelot. So I'm going to do it differently.
Okay. I like this hand. I'm just going to do 1 site.
I'm going to mulligan 1 site. I like the mulligan change they did. It makes this a bit more difficult choice.
I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll
Come
be right back.
on, Lancelot. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need to decide who's going first.
Did you guys see anything?
We'll just do high roll.
I'll take a bubbly.
I'll take a bubbly.
There's always time for a bubbly.
Always time for a bubble.
You want a D20?
Do you have it?
I guess. Surely. I mean, I've got one.
I think I took mine home.
I did too.
Just D6 me.
But I may have brought it back. Here's 4 times 5. 6 times 4, 24. And then if I may need some randomization, which we'll just figure out as we go. Actually, let me just do a quick cursory D20 look, because I definitely had one here. Oh, there's one. That was easy. 1 D20.
Who wants the pamplemousse and who wants the lemon?
No preference.
I don't care.
I would enjoy both equally. That's what we've learned to say at the Woolly House.
Oh, nice.
Because if you say I don't care, it's kind of a different
That's true.
vibe.
It is a certain vibe. I don't care.
Yeah. It's like, that's true, but also it's like, both of those sound great. That's a
Yeah,
different
That's
feel.
a way better framing.
Mm-hmm.
Way better framing.
Like that.
That's what it's like to be in love. Okay.
What did you decide? Are you first or
We
second?
need to hear. High
Even
roll.
Steven?
Even Steven. Even, I'll go first.
Okay.
13. Zach's
Odd.
first.
All right. I don't draw on the first turn.
You don't draw on the first turn. That's
I
beautiful.
I'm saying it as a statement. Definitely not a question. Oh God! Can you imagine ever losing to me? Let's tap to play.
No.
I'm gonna play step.
Cool.
Just rub it in your face.
Love it. That's great.
But I'm
stuff.
signaling. I'm Earth Fire. Now you know.
Fire, yeah. I'm going to draw a card at the start of the turn. We are going to play the Joyous Guard. That's going to be air, water, and fire. And I'm signaling to you I'm playing air, water, and fire. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just running them because it's another duel.
Maybe. Mine.
Over to you.
Let's draw a
Did
site.
someone draw on their first turn?
No, Zach didn't.
Okay, great.
Okay. Let's just do the thing. I'm gonna play a Briar Patch.
Cool.
And
Take one to go in and leave.
Yeah.
Enemies only, yeah.
Only enemies. What a-
That's. I feel like that's a change in design philosophy.
yeah,
for
I
them.
agree.
There's definitely some changes in design philosophy that happened.
Like, can you imagine if like Gnome Hollows just said enemy?
I can't. It's a terror.
It is interesting that a briar patch would not affect both of us.
Yeah, well, you know the
Thematically.
secret passageways.
I know my way around.
Yeah.
It's my briar patch.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. Who would foolishly play a card on turn 2?
Just try to try to turn.
Waste a card at 2 resources? No.
Let's play a poison well. You're gonna lose a life there.
Oh no, it's a black knight.
And then no, it's not. I'll pay 2 for a horse and charge in here for 2.
Don't like that.
Yeah, just a horse and the brambles.
So I've lost 3
You've lost 3 total. Yeah, 1 plus 2 is 3.
over me.
Over to you.
I heard you like aggro, Zach.
I do. I think I'm actually playing more of a deck that Steven would traditionally play,
That's
and vice versa.
accurate, actually.
Let's draw a sight. Okay.
Weak.
I'm too weak. Tap my sorcerer. We're gonna play Red Desert and do 1 to everything here,
Done.
and you die. I'm just kidding. He's 2 life, eh?
Yeah, that's what this number means right here.
He's technically at 1 life. I was testing you.
He's 2 life, but he's taking 1 damage.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Core some Kobolds.
Okay.
At the end of my turn, they'll punch your horse.
You got it.
They're not fans of horses, seemingly. Over to you.
Okie dokie. Stand up. Stand up.
I thought you were singing. What's his name? Lee. Stand up next to me.
Stand
Proud to
up.
be an American.
This 4 isn't on the joke, on the Steven deck building joke.
It's just for a second. Does Zach just call his deck bad?
Because that was the deck Steve would run.
That's
Oh.
very funny.
Yeah. That's what we're all laughing about.
Yeah, my deck is probably the deck Steven would play if he actually was willing to play the good cards.
Hey.
It's the style of deck. It's mid. You just want to be flexible and adaptable, you know?
Yeah, like water.
Like water. One day we're going to switch elements. And it's going to. None of us are going to know what to do.
This is actually funny to me.
Funny haha?
Aha!
Or funny mildly annoying?
No, it's not annoying. It's good. It's very good. I'm going to draw a sight.
Duzan asked him why the kobolds didn't die. So at the end of the turn, they strike themselves or another target adjacent unit. Strike is not attacking. So in a strike situation, like with grapple shot, only the thing being struck takes damage. So the kobolds just smoked the horse.
Well explains that. Very, very well done.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So let's think about this. I'll play a site over there. That happens. You move that thing over there. That happens. Do you see that territory?
You ready to get kobolded?
Kobolded. Perfect.
You could.
Okay, let's go. I think this is okay. I think it's okay.
You're welcome, Duzan.
Let's go here. We're gonna do water, Valley of Delight.
So it has water forever.
Yeah, and then we'll play Brother Knight for 3. And we'll go get another one.
Oh, baby.
Dog. Okay. Dude, it's so cool.
They're good.
Quentin Hoover. They show up
You
together.
paid 3 for that.
3.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
-1.
quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have 3 cards left in your hand?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you've just been drawing cards.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Dude, Steven has been thinking.
I've been thinking, I've only ever been the first player in all of my test draws, so I get like a free card, which is very cool.
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I will draw
Good.
from my deck. Forgot that guy was in here. And then, are you gonna do that? Is that your play?
I don't know what my play is.
Well, I can move the kobolds up and get rid of one of your knights at the end of the turn. But then you could just take out the kobolds with a knight.
Yeah.
So I'm really just trading 1 for 1, which is fine. I could skip playing a site and do more than that, but that seems bad. Because again, mid range, etc.
You do your thing, man. Maybe.
No. All right, I'm gonna tap the sorcerer, and we're gonna actually play. I just realized this is not just me. I have Camelot in my hand,
Oh, good.
so uniques cost 1 less.
Watch out, buddy.
Ooh.
So let me think about that. Yeah, I was gonna put it here because I was like, I want to play Lancelot, right? That's the goal.
Yeah, cool.
So then I can play
Please.
here.
Please put it there.
But then it's like Steven's cards are gonna get so good. I need to put it here actually.
Yeah.
That's where this goes.
I think that's right.
So I just might not play a site this turn.
Whoa. I love it. That's some next level sorcery. We're going into them.
Yeah, I think this is the right call. You tell me out there. Am I crazy? So I'm going to move the kobolds up.
Okay.
I'm going to move the sorcerer up.
Oh, I like that.
I'm going to play a minor explosion here.
That's 2 to everything?
3 to everything.
Yeah, nice.
And at the end of the turn, my kobolds will hit your avatar.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, over to me. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to stand up.
Next to you.
And defend us still today.
Brent saying, I've been away for a while. You guys still play Swoo or Fab? Never really played Swoo.
Never
we
swooed.
Tried it. We streamed it. And then I took a step back from Fab personally last year because I had a child. Technically my wife did, but I can say I had a child.
I
Right?
think you can say that.
I think that's
that
allowed.
tracks.
I think it's allowed.
I feel like I earned it, and haven't really truly dipped back in at this point. So Fab was a lot. It's a heavy engagement game.
The retrospective you posted was quite good. I wish I had that link. I think it was on your Twitter.
The artist formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Rip.
Templar's going to kill these kobolds. Take 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Now we're sorcering.
pay 3 for Sir Balin with a Lance token, and I'm going to pass that over. Here we are.
Oh, sweet lord.
It's worth reading.
When he strikes an avatar, destroy that avatar's site, and then burrow other minions and artifacts there. Okay.
And then can't drop if they've swung. So I'm going to drop and pick up.
Mine?
Yeah.
Let's draw here.
So Templar has a lance.
Yes.
Okay.
Small sequencing, but Zach should have moved up to cast the minor before moving the kobolds to get 2 extra damage. I'm not sure how that's possible. You did move up. Cast the minor before moving the kobolds.
Oh, I can move an attack with the kobolds onto your location. I just moved them
Those
up.
are also defenders.
Yeah. Ah! That's a big brain play. Camelot.
Is that right?
Yes, because I would clear the Brother Knights. You
But
can't.
they were
block.
here.
Yeah, I didn't attack with it when I moved up though, because you could block.
Oh, got it. Because they can move over and block. Yes.
But if I just get rid of them first, yeah.
If you lose by 2, you'll know where it was.
That's right.
This snap helping us out, saying, smash that like button.
Thanks.
Good reminder. Good reminder for everyone.
Dude, Camelot is gonna pay dividends.
Good. I'm gonna try to move in over there. See if I can sneak through a little side over here. Also, I did not draw for my turn.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do that now.
Ooh.
The shadow catcher.
You can run it back.
They'll keep it clean.
I don't care. You can have all the cards you want. It won't help you.
I maybe did.
Ooh, I did see a comment.
did.
Someone was watching one of our Gudnak games, and they were saying that on one of the turns you effectively took 3 actions
Good.
because we got kind of lost in the conversation in the middle of one.
That's because you keep talking.
I don't know if that's true.
There was some epic games that we'd post to the channel, and then it'd be like one of us had made like a very clear error.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's like, ugh.
I believe Noble's on some flu medication.
Love
Just
it.
trying to get through.
That's the best way to play sorcerer.
That's
I'd
the best
say.
way to watch this stream, honestly.
I'm gonna play Sir Morian here.
Mm.
Do we have foot soldiers about?
Footies.
Can I have 2 of those foot soldiers?
Yeah.
And projectiles can't enter. That's right. This here. Over to you.
Over to me. Let's draw. Oh, guess I know what that is. Okay. Do we want to go farther? There's not a world where you...
David hopping on the why didn't I make a better play train.
Good. Get him.
It's definitely not because I'm not good at the game. It's because I'm trying to give Steven a chance, you see.
No, this is engagement.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we're creating
It's all-
comments,
it's all
yeah.
done,
Yeah.
done for a reason.
Yeah.
Every
We
time
just
Zach
got to make
makes a-
subtle mistakes
Yeah.
all game. We'll get a million
Yeah,
comments.
when Zach makes a mistake or a misplay, just hit that like button.
That's right.
Yeah, smash the subscribe bell
Yeah.
or whatever.
It'll fix the problem if you just smash the like button
Yeah.
and ring the bell and
Ring the bell.
whatever.
I'm worried about the cards that you might have.
Yeah, sure. I've only got 2 spells.
Mm-hmm.
They're not my worst cards, though.
I really need a... well, if I was in non-Arthurian Legends, I would be playing Deserts a million times.
Ooh, they would be good here.
Oh, man. Yeah, because, like, little dudes is the hardest thing for, like,
No removal.
playing good units to do. I need a snowball and lava flow or something.
I basically just... Each of those little things takes away a whole turn of a good unit of you, basically, because you don't have
Yes. That's right.
cards like Minor Explosion or Deserts. I will say, you working out this deck in Discord brings me a lot of joy. It's nice. It's cool to have a constraint that
It
you're
is.
within, really trying to figure it out.
It is.
That's like how we always
Yeah.
want to play. And I love getting to be the bad guy, so to speak.
I mean, yeah, this is pretty risky. It just, I don't know. How many cards you got? 2? You probably got some kind of a removal bucket. Balin's gonna swing in for 3 on your avatar.
I'll block with a foot soldier.
You got it.
Yeah.
You gonna block with all of it?
No.
Dang.
As tempting as it is.
Templar is going to decide. Templar could swing into that foot soldier and go ahead and clear the lands because you can't block with Morion or you would die. But that's the wrong move. Instead, we're going to play a Forge over here. We're going to generate a Lance token, and then Ribble Boggart's going to come in here and pick that bad boy up.
Old Boggartons?
Boggartons is here, baby.
Hold on.
Watch out, here he comes.
No wonder you ended up on Sounders at some point.
Could be anything.
The old Boggers
Could be a
Sounders
6-power.
deck.
6-power Lance coming at you next turn.
I'm really sad this doesn't somehow work with the Sounder, the Squeakers, and that whole thing.
Yeah, it should be have a pig.
Some
thing.
trade or something going on.
Yeah. Pig thing.
So your turn, this happens.
Yes.
So nothing right now.
Just a 3 with a Lance token.
And it only is on your turn.
That's right.
Oh, boggy.
Mine? Boggy, hands on boggy.
As we've always said. Okay. Well, I think we draw a card.
Boggy, hands on boggy.
Clearly.
What's up, Andre? Good to see you. Good to see you out there.
Well. What have we here? And Lance is only on offense, eh?
That's right. No, it's when he's attacked. And he strikes between the units.
Okay.
But it's not like +1. It's not power for removal purposes. So it's not like a 4-power unit.
But like if I swung a foot soldier at him, you would lose a token.
I'd lose the Lance token. Foot soldier would die.
Would that be a bummer?
Are you talking about the Templar?
Or at Boggart. He's got a Lance.
Oh, Bogger,
Yeah.
How much life do you have?
That's the stupidest question to ask.
It's my favorite question. I need to get it on a t-shirt.
You can see the dice.
16.
Yeah, they're right there.
But if I get you to verbalize it, I can get the terror in your bones that I'll somehow be able
you
to.
can tell that I'm shaking.
I can actually just annoy you. That's the goal here.
That is why we do this.
Yeah, agreed.
That's not untrue also,
Yeah, I'm not lying. It is part of the game.
for the record.
Yeah, we're both having a good time, I think. Most things.
Right?
How many cards are in your hand?
3?
How much is it? All that's magic.
Yeah.
Just full of magic over there.
Well, I don't draw a card with my avatar, so I have to do it the hard way.
Yeah, and you're how many resources now?
4.
Man, you're cruising.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
All right, Sir Balin needs to get out of here.
Sir Baller?
I can't.
It's too risky. It's too scary.
Yeah,
Like,
it's.
there could be things that, I mean, have everybody have a card that says strike, like Shatter Strike. Last turn, Shatter Strike would have ended the game. It would have killed all your units. You'd be down 1 mana, and I'd be fine. I think that would have been pretty good.
JK's got a suggestion for you, Zach.
Yeah, how many cards? How many cards left?
Okay.
Shadow Strike's gonna make it back in just for the. See, this is testing, so I'm making notes, mental notes.
I declare.
I really do love this single release format.
I think set constructed 40-20 is gonna be my
I love it.
ride or die format.
I love it.
I think that would probably be my favorite way to play.
Because
Constructed.
I gotta tell you, I read and looked at all the Arthurian Legends cards and was thinking about changing my water deck and all that. But when I had to just use Arthurian Legends card, I gained such an appreciation for what was happening in the design and the ideas and the Lance tokens being the removal spells of the game. I mean, it's just...
You really have a much better understanding, much deeper understanding.
And it's so fun because you actually, it feels like Arthurian Legends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a deck from Arthurian Tales.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, I think it's great. Just watching you discover new cards. I mean, Ribble Bogart's a really good example.
It's a weird card.
It's a weird card.
But what you also see is like how relevant it is that it's only 1 threshold. Because I have my Brother Knight's a 2-fire 3-drop. My Red Cap Poweries is a 2 threshold 3-drop. And I had the cat in there, which is a 2 threshold 3-drop, but in water. There was no way for me to hit both on turn 3.
Uh-huh.
So it was like I'd have hands where I had Poweries and cat, and it was like, I can't play both of these cards because I can only get to 2 threshold of one of those elements by turn 3. And then it was like, well, then I'm playing cats on turn 4, but it's a 3-drop on turn 4. It's not as good. So then Boggart filled the cat spot where it's like I can play Boggart and all my 2 threshold fire cards, and you see exactly what happened. Brother Knight, Boggart, Balin.
I like the idea of a cat spot.
That's super cool. Yeah, I like it.
But if you're running pawns, turn 2 cat is where it's at.
And it rhymes, so it must be true.
My pawn unicorn
Cat's where
deck
it's
is
at,
like
yeah.
mid-range. See you, Garrison.
Steven's daughter's about old enough to start going Dr. Seuss.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll learn a lot more about rhyming. Cats, hats, hats.
Cats, hats,
It's
etc.
easier to rhyme when you can just make up words.
It does seem like a
I
little
swear.
bit of unfair.
I didn't know this could be a pet peeve of mine, but there is a book that we have that tries to make 2 words rhyme that don't.
Oh man!
And every time I get there, it sends me. I can't do it. I can't do it. Anywho, here's what we are going to do.
Go for it. Connect 4.
I'm going to play a...
I'm being surrounded.
I'm going to play an Arid Desert.
Okay.
I'll trigger on this location.
This one?
All right. Now, if you're on defense, you would hit me first.
Yes.
And that's not
I
just
take
an
0
offense.
damage when this unit strikes.
Yeah, okay. I will attack my foot soldier into you.
Okay.
Then Sir Morian will attack this location for 3.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play an Earthquake
Mm-hmm.
here. So all minions and artifacts get buried.
Love it. Are you going to move them around at all?
I am going to move the sites, but if you want
Sure.
to clear house
These all
before
just,
I...
get buried, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Very good.
And the avatar would go with the site he moves on, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think
correct.
so. Yeah, that's right.
So I want him back. And I actually want... No, I want to leave it like that. I just want to get out of the way. I could put your site in the middle of me. That's kind of interesting. Let me think about this for a second. Because the problem now is you can teleport into the middle of everything of mine. But also you're not going to play another site.
Don't give me Camelot.
Yeah. That's a... Literally the thing I looked down. It was like, don't allow that.
Man,
All right.
best player on Zach's team over there.
Yeah, it's a team
2
effort.
times
yeah.
now.
Sometimes when I'm in a tournament, I like to just slowly do things to see if my opponent will raise an eyebrow.
That was me at the very when I was first playing sorcery against water. I had root. I love root spiders. Every single time.
Drown.
I play it. Drown.
Yeah, drown is the worst.
So it's every time.
Yeah,
But earthquake though is totally fine.
Technically,
Earthquake's
this
cool.
is. Do you have any burrowing stuff?
Yes.
Okay. You can go get a
I'm gonna
lance.
go get her.
All right. Start of the turn.
Speaking of root spiders,
There you go.
I'm going to draw a normal card.
I just need my deck right here. I'm gonna summon Lancelot to the top with this magic trick.
With this trick.
See, I did not want to use earthquake.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Well,
It must have been hard for you.
I know you've got things that are probably worse, but I knew you had 2 things that I didn't like on the table.
Okay. Well, this is not going to be so impressive, but I'm just going to play a Purple Knight here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to drop its Lance token and give it to the Templar.
Obsidian was thinking you took too much damage last turn. You were apparently at 16 and took
did.
3.
Yeah, I should have gone to
Also, I just need a pause. Purple Knight.
13.
Who did this art?
That is Rodney
Rodney
Matthews.
I can't explain it, but this is one of my favorite pieces of art in sorcery.
Yeah.
I think.
And I don't normally like yellow.
Charge.
And then
Yeah, right. Also just charge.
Templar is just going to swing with Lance for 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to pass it back to you.
I'm invested.
In the game?
This game, yeah.
Well, there's definitely a clock, right? So Zach's about to start double drawing. where me being this far behind by the time he's getting 2 cards a turn means I will never win, or should never win. It is Zach.
It is Zach.
This guy. This guy.
But like the sheer, if you get 2 cards to 1, once that starts, I think
like right this moment.
that's a
I'm
problem.
gonna draw an extra card. Ooh.
And like Burying Earthquake, I don't know that this deck could ever overcome
Yeah, that's pretty massive.
that removal. But we're gonna bang it against it a few times.
Keep trying. Yeah.
And does someone have a Lance token over here?
Nope. Lost it, killing Morian.
Oh, there it is. I was like, what something happened there. That's what happened. I now see.
You learn too that Source is a game where the thing you need to be playing things that matter this right now. Like something that just comes in and sits for a turn is almost not.
Almost not playable.
It almost can't do it unless it's got a really unique +1 power or something like that.
Well, I'm going to take an interesting one. I don't like this.
You got a lot of cards to not like over there.
Well, it just stacks up weird.
Okay.
You,
Okay.
like, based on the 2 cards I drew, I would definitely have not played Earthquake last turn. You don't have anything you have a thing to remove, but it's not that exciting.
Not that exciting.
And then the way my numbers add up for everything else is like, I can kind of do middling things, as you're just saying, like having.
Or you could do nothing.
That's not happening. It would be good for one of us if I did nothing.
Dang.
Yeah. But I think this is still weirdly right. I'm just gonna play a Violent.
Okay.
Unless, yeah, you got it.
Don't I know it?
Over to you.
Okay. We're going to draw a spellbook card.
Gosh, Sorcerer is unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Why do you exist?
Okay, what are we doing?
Zach's flexing with that fancy alpha violet, by the way.
That is fancy.
How'd you know? Oh, because the non-alpha is a different breed. I see.
Here we go.
I was gonna say, how'd you know? Because you have to see the little symbol, but not on that card.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's the best play. You know, I've got to be careful here.
It is. I've injected Arthurian Legends into my decks really for the first time here on these games. Seeing cards like I played Morian, obviously, because I played a fair bit of Constructed in just beta era, even with prep for Sorcery Con. I like seeing the new cards.
Yeah, Violent. Not that into it. Not that into it. I feel like there's a good thing to do right now, but I think it's the wrong thing to do forever. You know what I'm saying?
I did the opposite of that here.
Yeah.
It was middly now. It's fine. It's a fine trade, but in the long run, I think it was the right call.
Good.
We'll see if I'm right.
Okay. We're going to tap to draw a site. Just take a look-ski. And then we're going to pay 3 for a Black Knight here.
I love
5
this
3
art.
there.
Beautiful. Over to me?
Yes, sure.
All right.
We're up on the TV.
Yeah,
Noble's
see one right before it.
taking Robitussin and watching us on the big screen.
Sorting ball.
Now this is what you do when you're
That's how you flew.
on narcotics.
That's awesome. What did I say that triggered you know who? I won't say it again.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You probably said it, right?
That name is a very unique name to just say.
It is, yeah. It's your mom's name. Not even a joke, really, is it? It's just wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, honestly. But here we are. Well, okay. I guess. Okay, I guess. Okay.
I'm making a day of it. I love it, Noble.
I'm going to play Jihad here.
Okay.
Ooh, wow.
So I can summon minions to affected fire minions to affected sides, and my allied minions have +1 power on these sides. So then I'll swing at you for 3.
Okay.
At the location, not the.
You don't want to take 2 in a turn in case that matters.
And then that's right. I will play Blunderbore here. And he only costs
charge.
4. Why does he have charge?
He gives himself charge.
That's the other one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Right.
Allied giants banish minions they kill at the permanent game +1 power.
Nice.
So he's -1 from Camelot, and then he's +1 power from Jihad. So he's 6.
6.
Oh wait, I'm gonna draw a card.
No, right. Yeah.
Last click draw. Why not?
As we do.
Woo! Hot dang! The fire is getting hot here. This is crazy.
That's the phrase I remember.
Yeah, I actually have a tattoo of that phrase. It's right next to my Carpe Diem tattoo.
I'm gonna draw a card.
The giant was a card I drew into my hand where I said I'm really happy to see Arthurian Legends card. I love that, Jesse.
Okay, these are ideas. This is good. We'll make a show of it.
Justin, that was 6, but the giant's -1. So it's only. Oh wait, it is 6. I only have 5 out. No, I have 5 out, which is minus. Hold on.
You paid
I
4.
I don't know that
5,
I can do
6.
this.
You paid 6 total, and you have 5 money. Is that right?
I played 2, so I have 3 left. He would cost 4, so I can't play him. I double discounted.
Yeah, you can take it back.
Yeah, let me
Take whatever back you want to take back. I get what, 3 money or 3 health back?
So he didn't attack anything.
If you pull out Jihad.
We'll leave that. I just can't play this guy.
Okay.
So instead of playing him, I tapped a draw. That would have been normal. And then
But now I play a better card.
yeah, actually, I mean, not really. It depends on how you feel about what I'm about to do. I will.
Did you account for Camelot in that equation?
Yeah,
great.
I have 5 resources, and I was trying to spend 6.
Okay. Yeah, they can't do that.
That's
You
like
do
a
have
1-1.
5 to spend. So you go to 3,
Yeah,
and then you still have to pay 4.
in your head you think it works,
Yeah.
but really I'm spending 7 total with a discount of 1, so I need 6 to do that, and there's only 5 out. Is the magic of that?
It's magical.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing in my brain. Is that what I do? How many cards are left in your hand? Your magic hand?
4.
My goodness.
Well,
you
I've drawn
just-
for the turn already.
Oh, I see. You just don't run out though.
Well, that's what you have to do, though, with these little dinky avatars that don't have an easy button.
Woo!
The
I'm
funny
gonna.
thing is he knows I'm right.
He's not wrong. I'm gonna play red cap Poweries.
Okay.
And they have charge, and then I'll just swing into here for
Just
4.
trade 'em?
Yeah.
No, actually, yeah, we'll trade. Okay, well, that's
Over to you.
that's interesting. Okay.
I do not have Blunderbore in my hand.
Of course not.
I wish it was the one with charge.
So we're just taking 3 from Violent every time? Ugh.
I remember there was a phase where I distinctly thought Jihad was bad.
It's not.
I don't feel like it's bad anymore.
No, everyone runs it.
Really?
Yeah. Every competitive rushy style.
Really?
does it. Yeah, everyone's running Dispel now because of Jihad and Crusade and.
So then you don't run it and they just waste their Dispel.
Well, it also works on like dispelling artifacts. So your
Lance
rings
tokens or
and
cores
Ring of
or
Morgan,
what.
yeah.
Did Ring of Morgan turn out to be as good as people thought it was?
Yeah, well, they're playing it, but it's kind of like the cores, you know. No,
Yeah.
I feel like nobody's really willing to
It's
go
like-
without.
You need it there, and you need to make sure your opponent can get rid of it. But a lot of times it doesn't do anything because they just do.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's good.
It won me a ton of sealed games. I'll
Well,
say
that is a goose of another feather. Ring of Morgan and Sealed is crazy.
That's very true. That is a goose.
it is
A goose is
indeed a
different.
goose.
Yeah. Okay. Boy, that makes for tough. Ugh. I mean, you've got like a billion. Yeah.
3. But I have an ability that's doing that. I don't know how you're keeping up.
I feel like you're just in the rush world. I'm just gonna take it on the face again. Let's play Kelp Cavern up here. Look at the bottom 3 and put 1 on top. No, one of them is from the mulligan. I'm gonna put this one on top. And the other 2 on the bottom, I think. Is that what it says? Can you read my card?
Put 1 on top. It actually doesn't say what to do with the other 2.
Put them in hand.
That must be it. Golden rule, right?
Okay, and then we're gonna send Serpelius for 2. It's gonna submerge here. And then we're
Hold on,
gonna...
let me look at this guy. I love this art.
I love that art as well.
I love underwater he is holding his helmet like that. I guess so he doesn't lose it. That makes
reasonable,
sense.
yeah.
If you're wearing it, that would not be comfortable.
And then we're gonna spend our last 3 on giving Pelias Sword and Shield for +2. So 6/5.
He's a 6/5 that moves free, so he can move up for free.
Yes, and over. So that's the idea.
Up and over for free.
So like, if he's attacking this site, this move up is free, and the move over is 1.
Gotcha, yeah. I wanted to make sure the move over was not free as well.
No. Yeah, but it basically means he can sit under it. I think Jesse had to have lobbied for this card because we're obsessed with decks that allow submerged minions to work, and Pelias has it written on the card. Can you imagine if all the submerged minions could surface for free?
They would be better.
Yikes.
Can you tell me something before I decide to draw or not?
Yes.
What are the conditions that you have to meet to target something?
You have to be able to target it.
I don't know what that means.
In the same region.
Same region.
In the targeting restrictions, like
So
within 2 or within 1.
There's
If you're underwater, you can target Pelias. If you're not underwater, you cannot target Pelias.
If you're burrowed,
Even if you're
also
burrowed, you
can't
cannot
target
target Pelias.
flying is a different region or the same
Flying
region?
is the same region.
Because you can see it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how they wrote it on the whiteboard.
it. He's got it.
All right, so things you can see.
I'm basically a genius. Okay, I'll draw a card for my deck. Oh, the hits keep coming and they don't stop coming. Oh, lordy. He's at what now? 4, 3 plus 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you work that one out.
So 6/5. Is that right? It applies to both stats.
Fact check. Yep, that's right.
It's actually a real question. Let's start where all good things start. Violent will swing for 3.
You got it. You can't bury that violin because it's a water site. Just so you know.
That's true. It's good to know.
So if you earthquaked right now, it wouldn't bury.
Yeah, that is good to know. Genuine.
That's the biggest advantage of water is that you can put out stuff that they can't bury you on. At least in my opinion, I guess.
What? This is something else, Steven.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I guess it doesn't matter. If I
Draw a
move,
card.
you can still swing here.
Yeah. Moving with the sorcerer would be my dream come true.
Yeah. We're just gonna draw. Okay.
Unless I give Peleus something that says if you strike the opponent's avatar, you know, crazy things happen.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, I have 5. I have 5.
Yep.
Definitely don't need any mana trackers around here.
We don't. We've played so many 90s games together. We prefer to continually ask.
I mean, you can count Dragon Tears if you want to keep it 90s.
I agree.
I'm gonna play Blunderbore for 4.
Blunder 4.
So I have 1 remaining.
1 mana open. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna play
Charge.
Lady Iseult
Oh.
for 1. Nearby ally minion would die, return it to my hand instead.
Very good.
And then I will pass to you.
Izak, how was that Vincent Pompetti comic? You have it, right?
I do have it. I'm only halfway through, but I love it.
Okay.
The art
The art
is
that's
exceptional.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you have it?
No. I'm waiting to ask you to borrow it once you get done with it. I haven't told you that yet.
Oh, you can definitely borrow it after I'm done with it.
Oh, thank
I didn't
you.
know you were waiting on it though.
I wasn't waiting. I'm not waiting on it.
Yeah, I'm just slowly
Yeah.
making my way through,
Yeah.
and
Hey, take your time.
I'm channeling a little bit of you actually, where I'll sit with it for a minute.
Yeah. Really, I mean, Vincent took a long time to make all that art.
Yeah, I can just
It's
take a
worth
little
taking
bit
long time
to
appreciate it.
enjoy it.
Draw a card for the turn. That's something, isn't it?
The looping giant train.
A looping giant. There are definitely worse giants to loop there.
Yeah, like the one with charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Be a shame if I played him next turn though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then nom 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 nom.
See, I really don't. I don't know. This is where you gotta sorcery. Because if you have things that hurt everything on a site, I would do one thing. If you don't have that, I would do another thing.
I'm gonna use the bathroom while you think through your life.
All right.
It's true. It's
All right. Okay, now, ladies, I'm going to bamboozle Zach a little bit here. Lady Iseult is good.
Yeah.
Here.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Very good here.
He keeps playing the good cards.
He's playing the good cards.
That's a problem.
He's good. He's good at that. I'm going to get the 6 damage in for sure. I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. I think he's got any cards that do damage to every. We know he's got minor explosion, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, Okay, that could be a little weird. And I don't need to play. This is cool because I don't need to play a site, so I get to just swing for 2, and then I can threaten Lady Iseult again. Interesting. I think that's what I'll do. Violent's just going to be raging around for 3 like a boss.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It sure is. But this is actually ending up about where it's expected to end up.
Does that mean it's going your way?
No, not really, but it's going the way that I was thinking it would probably go, like the way that the game. Yeah. So this deck is actually doing. It's kind of ended up exactly where it's supposed to end up in terms of the cards that I'm seeing, and the state of the board. I'm too far behind, I think, right now. But the end game is in front of us. So that's good.
I think that Earthquake was a real...
It's a broken card.
Yeah.
Obviously. Mass removal at that scale is crazy. Okay. I am going to swing here for 2. You want to block?
I'm okay.
Okay. We are going to play Sir Mordred here to kill that giant. And
Hold on,
take
let me
him
see
to your
that.
hand, of course.
Yeah.
And then we're going to swing here for 6.
Ouch.
Take 6.
Yeah.
Sir Mordred, dog.
Sir Mordred. Lady is a pretty good answer to that,
She's
though.
pretty good.
Over to you.
Straw card. Swing here for 3.
You got
You're at 4.
4.
4.
4, 4, 4.
And I've got 5 resources.
And Camelot. May as well draw. Go ahead and build the stack. Build the stack, buddy. How many more cards do you can get in that hand?
You'd be surprised.
7, 6, 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I went for quality of cards over quantity. See? Expert deck building. Some lady is sold this way. I'll take 1. Down to 3. Minor explosion. Death's Door. Call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years.
Okay. This is just strictly the right call. I will draw.
I wish Peleus also said your side is a water site.
Mm.
I'd take him at 4 cost if he said that.
That'd be insane.
Yeah. Beta's got some cards, man. Some bangers.
I'm just going to play Monstrous Lion here.
Nice.
I'll punch your avatar for 4.
You got it.
Pass to you.
Ooh. And then you probably got the kill spell in hand, right?
Perhaps.
Okay. Well, let's see if there's any way that if you don't, things are okay. 5, 9, 8, 7, 6. Monstrous Lion. I mean, I can like kind of scare you, which is cool.
I mean, you could take him Death's Door, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Which feels close, but
Oh, are you on Death's Door too?
mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm on
that's
Death's
the
Door,
problem.
yeah,
Yeah, it
because
changes things.
Roaring Lion's got the charge. Bobby Hiller got the Dillo.
He indeed does.
1 power?
Yeah.
Okay. So you,
Yeah.
No, you still take the 1 power. Okay.
I do have Death's Door, but I think given the 16 cards in hand, there's got to be an explosion or a heat ray or a what have you. And / can you get away from these units?
I've got a unit on your location and any location you can currently get to.
There's kind of some weird. This is where it's wiggle time.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if there's any outs here. Lion's kind of a big problem. I can't play both of those at the same time. I need to draw my lion.
Last turn?
Yeah. Any of them.
Any turn.
All of the turns.
I think there's a way
Do what?
to wiggle.
No.
Because you can definitely survive to the next round.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
Do you want me to tell you?
No.
Okay.
He can survive?
I think he has the mana for it. That's the thing I might not know.
Can he... If I have a magic spell that can do damage...
Yeah, no.
No.
Based on on the board right now.
Like, let's just say I could shoot a piercing projectile that deals 2 damage to everything in a path.
Based on what's on the board now, aside like eschewing my hand.
No, based on your hand.
Based on my hand.
'Cause I can see it. Yeah.
I mean, I have some ideas as to where the wiggle could happen,
Yeah.
but
You could. Oh man.
there's not really a way.
But there. Yeah.
This doesn't solve all of the angles.
No, but that plus the
You can't play both of these.
there's
If
your
you got
problem.
7 mana, you
okay,
could.
that's
Now,
that's
that
what
would
I
get
wasn't
you
saying.
somewhere, but seeing as how we're at 5 mana, that is a limiting factor of the plan. Sadly,
That's two mana short of a dozen, you know?
but is there another way? What could I draw that cost me 3?
You want to flip the top card of your deck and just see?
No.
I don't know what's in your deck, so I can't contribute to the conversation particularly.
I can get that out of here, and then we go there. But really, no, that ain't gonna work. And then if you've got a magic spell that does all the stuff, so we're gonna take you to Death's Door in a really kind of like scary way. Let's swing at you 4/6.
Got it.
And then we move here and do that. And then maybe, okay, if I draw a 3-drop minion, that's my best possible out. So I'm going to eschew Death's Door because that's an instant loss on the board. And I'll play Power Flight. And I will give Mordred Airborne. And then I'll draw this card. That ain't it. That would have been a good card to have, though, right in this very moment. And then if I draw a unit here, I can go here with Mordred, kill your Vile Imp, move Templar over, drop a 3-cost unit here. And then at least I don't lose on the board. But then if you have a charge minion or a magic spell that does a damage, I would still lose. So Mordred's going to swing in here at the diagonal for 4.
Death's Door, baby.
So Peleus and Mordred at the doorstep when a lion kills me. Or an imp, depending on how you want the game to go.
I mean, I feel like the imp has been the MVP here.
MVP?
Sure.
All right.
I'll just imp you.
Love it.
I like J.K. Long's idea here.
Again.
All right, I'll squeeze one in.
Can we do this Hunger Games style and pay to Grant Stevens some kind of boon? Kind of like the chat, like if there's enough emojis.
Like access to the other cards.
Yeah, that's the boon.
You could maybe heal him.
You didn't get that Buried Lance.
No, I didn't draw anything with Burrow. I just drew things with charge.
Yeah. See, I've got Powries and Lion as well. We identified the right fire cards to run.
You mean the cards that immediately give you a benefit?
Yeah.
So that if they're Earthquake, they...
I mean, that again, we see it there with Ribble, right? That's the problem is if you stand there, you're just going to get removed. You have to do something when you come into play. Unless your power is above your cost. In which case you generally outpace the curve.
Yeah.
Because like it's hard for a 2-turn cat at 4 strength is hard for even a 3-cost spell to deal 4 damage.
Yeah.
So unfortunately that is the problem with the pace of the game. Unless you're in sealed.
And then it's not a problem.
And then it's beautiful.
Do you have a preference on going first or second here?
I don't think so. I think second is typically better because you get the extra card and the charge. So like you can turn 2 charge that warhorse in for 2, whereas a turn 2 warhorse when they don't have a connecting sight is kind of weird. You move your avatar up.
I can see that.
Which can be good or bad if you have minor explosions, which you're not supposed to have. But I can go first this time.
Okay.
We'll see how it plays.
I'm unattached.
I do have a good going first play.
Yeah, you have like your lines that you're looking for, right?
Yes, I do have some good.
Because that one was even like that. You had the Poison Well, but you didn't have the Black Knight, seemingly.
But Poison Well going first doesn't really work because you don't have any sights going next to me on turn 2. So it would do 0 damage.
So you got to kind of
So then you play 3, and then you get the Knight for 2, and you waste 1 mana. It's not quite as strong.
Noble's got a question from the land of NyQuil.
Yeah. What's up? What's the
screen.
question? What do you call 13 witches in your... A Baker's Coven. That's very funny, Zach.
That is good humor.
That's actual comedy.
That's a good one.
That is actual comedy. Alejandro Gonzalez Laura, do you think we are in a golden age of board games and TCGs? And if so, do you think it will last?
No golden age last.
A golden age?
All ages in.
I think this is a pretty good time to be into card games because the big audience for TCGs was young when they were coming out, and they now have money. So that allows a lot of card games to exist that otherwise wouldn't be able to. Because the reality is when we're 17, we can't afford to play Sorcery and Flesh and Blood and. But there's a lot of people that can now. And so a lot of these games that are worth playing, there's more room in the market than ever, I think, for a lot of card games. But also you got to wonder, that won't last unless the kids start playing them as well. So now we've got to get our kids into this hobby.
That's going to be a minute. Even if we were trying.
You're not?
Not currently. No, we're just trying to figure out how to crawl. Literally.
Literally, yes.
Accurate. I definitely think it's a good time for both. Board games is an area I'm less generally familiar with, or less specifically familiar with, more generally familiar. There it is. But I get a sense that space is in a strange maturation sort of spot. 2000s you have Catan, and kind of and then the 2010ish era you had the Kickstarter crowdfunding thing. But there's so many games coming out all the time in the board game space that it is hard, and it's very competitive. And but from a player perspective, there's tons of choice. But there's a lot of people that it's one of the key differences between board games and card games is that as time goes on, a board game, like you have a board game collection. So new board games get less appealing over time. Like it has to be very particularly unique. Whereas with a card game, part of the appeal is that there's value in a bunch of other people playing with you. So whatever's actively being produced and supported and played, there's always a reason to go to the next thing. Like I have there's no end to me being like, I mean, my tastes get more honed in, but I know board game people who are at the they buy a board game every couple of years because it's like, they already have a game kind of like that or in that theme or in that whatever.
Have you mulliganed?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, there's Kalian upon us.
That's how it
said only like that. Please. Mine?
Yeah.
That's glorious, man. I don't know where that came from, but I'm happy it was there.
It's just what it says on the card, man.
Yeah, I believe you.
Jimmy.
I'll just play an Arid Desert, not Trigger.
Wow.
Over to you.
Bold. Draw a real card. Do you have a Violin in hand?
Oh my goodness, did you see who's in chat?
Who's that?
Lair Dog.
Lardog, what up? Hey.
Yo, he lives.
How's the child? How's the new kid? Wow.
Look at that.
Also probably delirious.
Yeah.
So Larry and Noble could have some good conversations in the chat there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Violin in hand?
Yes.
So that's the thing is I have
your play.
The play in the deck that can happen, but it didn't draw. So I think I have to play it differently now. Does that track for you? I think you have to always honor Violin and Kobold if you see fire. So I'm not trying to metagame you here, but
you're just trying to be a thinking human.
Air, and then I'm gonna play a Blue Knight back here and give the lance to my avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Because right here, if I play Babbling Brook, that disables everything nearby. So if I have Babbling Brook, I can play that, and Blue Knight. Lance is not a Genesis effect, so it still gets the Lance, and then Violamp is turned off because there's no Genesis on a disabled minion.
But you aren't babbling.
But I don't have the Babble.
Yeah.
But that's what it's designed to do.
Rip.
So then this is the alternative, and then you hope to draw a horse that can move the Blue Knight up.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm sure you understood all of that perfectly.
I get it. I checked it.
Checked it, didn't wreck it.
No wreckage here.
But not Violent like sucks, so you don't want to play that.
Red Desert. Yeah, I'm not playing it. I'll just pass.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, let's draw a card. Well, that's kind of the exact card, man. It's kind of the exact card.
He's ready to party.
I mean, you know, Violamp is still going to Violamp. You have to ask. You have to ask if it's worth it to do this. I think I probably no. Ooh, Zach. Whoa. You have one sight, yeah? You haven't drawn a sight yet?
I have 3 sides.
You've drawn only sights?
Yeah.
And you have how many cards? All your 3?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got deserts in different area codes. Dang, man.
Bye, Jonathan.
See y'all later.
See ya.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Larry's saying just hanging on for dear life out here. All's good though.
All is good.
Man, I've very recently been there. New baby existing is a crazy process as a human.
I think I'm just gonna do it. Man, I really do hate this. Alright, I'm gonna tap to draw a sight.
I like the lance on the avatar play out of Templar. That's really nice.
I think that's the best that you kind of get.
It made a lot of weird math going on my side because that was happening last game.
Alright, Flying Courser. Charge me 1+1. I'm gonna carry this knight.
Come
so
on.
1, 2, swing for 1, and then swing for 3.
What? For 4?
Yeah. But then like Desert Imp just ends that. So it's kind of like, is that worth 2 cards, Zach?
I mean,
What can you do?
I think it's pretty solid.
What can you do? Grand
Over
scheme
me?
of things.
Let's draw here.
Desert Imp is so good. It's genre defining. It reminds me of like Desperado in Netrunner.
Yeah.
Or like Account Siphon. It's just the thing that defines the early era of that game.
What was that Shaper card that was Magnum Opus?
Magnum Opus. Self-modifying code.
Yeah. I'm going to play Remote Desert
You got it.
here. And then a Violamp here.
You got it.
He called it. He knows my tricks. Over to you.
All right, let's draw. Stand up.
Next to you.
Okay. Then we will tap, play a site. Poison Well here, so you take 2 for those 2 sites. Power Use here, and then 3 into your Violent.
All right.
Now this is what I call fire.
Yours truly. Let's draw here. Okay, it's going to start becoming a problem.
You just threshold locked? That's how I win, by the way.
You might be feeling pretty good right now. Goodish.
Better hurry, dude. Better hurry.
I'm going to play Camelot here. I'm going to play my own red caps and trade you.
Okay. Trying to slow it down, eh?
And then pass to you. Yeah. Long game favors me. I think.
Let's draw.
Hypothetically.
Normal card. This curve is out of control right now. We don't like it. I'm gonna try to find something else to do with it. But what? Maybe I just take a knee on this. Oof.
A knee on the game?
No. It's like I can go to 4 mana, but I can only play at 2 cost. And everything else in my hand is high cost. So it's like if I don't go to 4 here, I'm still stuck on cards being unplayable. So I probably should get there, even though it hurts right now.
Yeah.
But there's a temptation to work the Templar up to be a threat.
Yeah. I can understand that dilemma for sure.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go here and play Tentacle back here. Just threshold, don't really need it at this point. And then I'll do Warhorse for 2 here.
Man, you were charging.
Yeah.
Mine?
Yeah.
I'll draw a sight.
Okay, so you're on 30. That's the difference, though. You can get thresholded.
Let's play.
Bedrock. The Earth. Wild horses.
Let's play a. That's my site.
That's right. Yeah, charged. I charged.
Yeah.
If you don't have them.
Slumbering Giantess here. And we'll go Kettletop Leprechaun here.
Ooh, boy.
Already.
You want to get a little draw in, don't you?
Could have used him earlier, but I couldn't play him because I didn't have Earthsight. And he was the thing that would solve my problem.
Yeah.
Grrr.
I see that. I see that.
Slumber Giantess by none other than Liz Danforth, artist, who also did Sir Lancelot, featured on both playmats.
All right, let's draw a sight.
I am with you, Jesse, saying Violent's so good I played as Elite, I played as Unique. Yeah, I play a bunch of it as Ordinary, so I would definitely play it at whatever rarity I needed to get to. Mm-hmm. It definitely feels like more like an Elite card to me. I wonder if it would have been Elite or even Unique in the current thinking of design.
I think it would. Okay. Well, so what do we got? We've got water, water, air. Okay, so the only thing I can't play right now in my deck is Green Knight, which I don't have in my hand, for the record. So... Let's play back here.
What is that thing?
Glastonbury Tour.
You have the trifecta back here.
I've got the village, man.
You better hope I don't have a Peasant Revolt.
Or Castles Ablaze.
Peasant
Because they're all unique.
Peasant
would blow them all up. Yeah. That would be great.
It's in the deck.
I would be very scared of that. That's another one of those, like, all my cards are unique.
Yeah.
Problem.
Well, boom.
Yes. We go here and here.
Have I not damaged you this game? That's impressive.
No. Let's just use Stormortar to kill that Giantess.
Yeah. I feel that.
And then we're going to move the horse.
No attack?
No.
Is it move into the desert?
I think so.
Checks out. We have a blocker, etc.
Yeah, I think this is right. And then, yeah, you can deal with that as you like. Yeah.
And so it begins.
Good cards. Good cards. Good cards.
You have 2 cards?
Mm-hmm. You got Pukas?
That'd be funny.
I had him in for a while. It's just not this deck, but it's a great card. Pukas and Kettletop both. I'd probably run them in your deck, both of them.
We got Kettletop.
Efficiency's crazy on both of those cards.
Trying to decide if I can get rid of both of your guys. Although Mordred is a pain.
Kills whatever's out there if needed.
Yeah. Let's just attempt to attack your horse with the Kettletop.
Block it.
Draw a sight when that happens. Then we will play a monstrous lion and trade with Mordred.
Okay.
And pass to you.
Okay.
You definitely have the tempo of this game.
Yeah, going first, I think
Does that?
maybe does that. But it's a weird.
We'll see if I curve on top of you with my avatar ability.
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird time for a lot of these cards too. So I got to think like if I can make you kind of. Where's the worst place for that warhorse to attack? We'll just swing 2 towards you.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna move here.
I like it because if I have any like AoE effects and stuff or single sight, it's back here.
Yeah,
Like if I
yeah.
have like a violent,
You can't like minor explosion.
Instead of being up
immediately.
the board, yeah.
I'll just ribble here. I'll pass it over.
All right. Clock's ticking, man.
Clock's ticking. Yeah.
Let's draw here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta be careful not to do this wrong.
I don't know. Doing it wrong sounds okay to me.
The Pukas are just the Bogarts hanging out.
Yeah, just a 3 power. Like remove it, or maybe it gets weird. It's a really good minor explosion, so I don't even know if maybe I should like threaten over here. There's kind of no reason to. But that's what we're testing for. We need to test a bunch.
Boom, boom.
Just go to like SorceryCon 3 and bring an AL only deck and win the whole thing. Wouldn't that be hilarious? You would go down in history as the greatest sorcery player.
You would
on
be
Earth.
an Arthurian legend.
I need a drum kit back here.
We need a. We've been saying it for years, but a soundboard to really amp the comedic. Play something with charge, you know. But I don't know. There's a lot of thinking to go into
That's
this.
good. It's not a brain dead removal turn then, at least.
It is not that. No. I think I just need to draw this.
Cool. Cool. I know that was a hard decision to make. I'm glad that.
It was. I almost played a sight.
Oh yeah, 6 mana.
Actually.
6 mana. Then you're on the gravy train.
But we're gonna do this. I'm gonna play Rebex.
With charge.
He's got charge, so I'll attack the Bogartons.
Yeah.
And then pass to you.
Okay, everything stands up.
Hypothetically, if a slumbering giantess had charge, and you giantess played a desert to wake it up, would it then be able to activate since it has charge, or would the sleepiness of it stop it from having charge?
Hold on, tell me that again.
So if this gives us, like, let's say I play a Slumbering Giantess here, and then I play a Desert here to do 1 to it to wake it up. Can it do something because it has charge, or when
If the Slumbering Giantess had charge, yeah.
Okay, because it has a Genesis effect that it goes to sleep, and I don't know the context of. Does the sleepiness cancel out the charge, basically?
I don't think so. Because once it's awake, it would still have charge, which means it can do something the first turn it comes into play.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Yeah. I think that's right.
That's like the 9th layer of rules that there's no way I would ever just know.
Okay. We've got.
I'm feeling pretty good about your chances here.
I've got some ideas.
Ideas are good.
Ideas are good.
You ever just sit there and wonder how in the world you got where you're at?
Me personally?
I just had one of those moments where it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It is crazy.
What an honor to be here.
Thank you, everyone.
Honestly, thank you.
Okay. So I think honestly it's just a race, right? And I've got 4 to your 4 on the board, which is not great racing material. But
I see.
but we do. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. You could clear my lance just to clear it.
Swinging for 4 done into face. I guess it would clear your lance, and I would do 4 if I giant into your face.
That's right. Okay. And then we're gonna do a weirder thing. Can I read? Does it want each enemy atop target nearby site? Okay, so that would work. Can I see the Vine Lamp in your discard pile? Okay, target, got it. And Minor Explosion just does 3 to everything at the site.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe. 3 damage to each unit at target location up to 2 steps away.
Okay. Yeah.
Is a step underwater as well? 2 steps away, could I go
No.
boom, boom, and
No.
blow up under the water?
Well, does it wait to read the first part of the card?
Deal 3 damage to each unit at target location up to 2 steps away.
You can't target a location that's not in your region.
Got you.
Yeah. I got the rules, baby.
That's I don't.
I'm a rules man. Okay, I'm gonna put some heat on you and see if you can stay in the kitchen.
Okay.
All right, so let's go to here to Camelot,
Uh-huh.
just to get out of nonsensical thing.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna drop this lance. We're gonna swing for 2 here,
Dang.
and then we're gonna play Sir Agravain for 2, picking up the lance. Stealth, movement +1. When another ally attacks an enemy adjacent to Sir Agravain, he strikes that enemy afterwards without losing stealth.
He's cool.
He's awesome. Please don't kill him because I really would like to use him. But you have to. Okay, so just so I know you're not big into
The rules?
reading.
Yes.
So experientially, understand this is movement +1.
Uh-huh.
So we can move like 1, 2, and then a horse is swinging. He does 3. Templar swings. He does 3. Over and over and over. So watch out. Or
He can't be on the board past this turn.
probably not. That's pretty accurate.
That's my take.
Yeah, I think that's right. He's stealth, so
Like I said, he may not
So
be. He
please
may not
don't.
pass go.
please don't.
Over to me.
Yeah,
He's got how many life here? 2?
2. Yeah.
We need an anti-stealth card here. Okay.
And Minor Explosion is 2 steps.
Heat ray would be the real.
Yeah, I probably just leave the lance here and play him here. Do you think that would be the most?
Leave the lance on the Templar.
Leave the lance here. Just be okay if Rebex takes 4 and takes the lance token. That's fine. And then Aggravate is safer because you have to move forward to Minor Explode 2 steps away, which to me is a card you don't get.
Yeah.
And feels better.
That's probably better. I mean, Heat Ray is really terrible for you here.
Heat Ray is not a targeter?
Mm-mm. It's like a straight line 2 damage piercing.
Do you have it? If you have it, I'm going to move Aggravate over here. Why don't we do that? It's too bad. Actually, it's just wrong. Let me just,
Okay.
Let's just do that. Because Heat Ray and Minor Explosion
are both very
kill stealth.
Yeah, and you have to assume I have those in my deck at least, if not actively in my hand.
Even here, you move over and kill Warhorse and Aggravate is pretty good for the Heat Ray.
Yeah.
But I think that's still the best thing to do.
Yeah. All right, let's think about our lives here. So Aggravate also strikes anything nearby.
Yes. Adjacent.
Adjacent, specifically. Okay.
So you can go move, and then Horse and Templar on your Sorcerer. That's probably like the worst case, obviously, scenario.
Uh-huh.
Jesse says projectiles can't hit stealth. But Heat Ray's not a... Is it a piercing projectile?
Yes.
Does it say 2 to everything at the site? You don't have it. Shooter, deal 2 to 1 unit at each location. I don't think Heat Ray hits stealth anymore. It used to. But I think they changed it to make stealth better.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't. He's gonna go away anyway.
Okay.
It's trust me, it's fine. Rebix. How do you say that?
Rebex.
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 I'm gonna swing at your Templar.
Yeah, you got it.
So you'll take 4.
Don't desert him.
And then I'm gonna play Earthquake
Okay.
here, so it'll bury him.
Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna do this.
Oh, cool. So no mana. Right on.
Is it mana or mana?
Mana or threshold.
Oh, mana is the resource. Threshold is the business.
Yeah.
Steven. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I forgot to
Interesting.
draw.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, you know what?
So I think.
I'm gonna play a desert.
Okay.
I'm gonna ping here for 1. Doesn't matter. I'm just playing a site, and then it's over to you.
Okay. Yeah, I think that will end it. Really?
I don't know how many resources.
Well, I've got 2 5 costs in hand that I can't play now. Threshold or mana.
Because you're essentially at 3 resources.
Yes. So I now need to... An Earthquake is anywhere on the board?
Yeah. You may
Nice.
rearrange sites within a 2x2 area, carry along everything of normal size, then burrow all minions and artifacts
Nice. Okay.
on those sites.
Okay.
But
So I don't think I have time to draw, play for the next 2 turns to try to get to 5 mana again.
I don't know what all is in your deck, but you can get me to 2 life here
Mm-hmm.
on table.
Yeah. But then it's going to stall entirely. Yeah. So I'll probably just... And most of my stuff is 1 threshold or 2 threshold things. So that's going to become unwinnable rather quickly. Force you to defend. My worry is that so much of the deck is 2 threshold that drawing cards here is a waste of time as well. Rather than playing the cards I know that I have, it's just going to take me 2 turns. But I have to lose Death's Door because Templar can't both swing and play a site, right? Let's draw a site. Maybe I hit a Babbling Brook. No.
I didn't come into today thinking Earthquake would be the card.
Oh, it's always the card.
It's Earthquake is insane with against these things.
Yes, they are my only tools. Okay, swing here. Okay, we're gonna at least try to do something here. Let's swing here for 2. Make it less easy. Let's go here on a Funeral Pyre. You can banish 3 cards. Do you have anything that gets stuff out of the cemetery? Okay, doesn't matter. And then I'll pass it over to you. All right.
Draw a card. Mm-hmm. Let's play Giantess here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play Desert to wake up the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
And then Giant will swing at the horse.
Horse?
Yeah, I think so. Then this will just swing at your avatar for 4.
Okay. This becomes a 2.
Nobody.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I spent 3. I have 4 left. Oh, God. I will play a Siege Giant with charge. Yeah. And then he'll just punch here for 4. Maybe I should have just punched you with the Giant.
Yeah.
Well, but you, with the horse in play, you could definitely 100% get me to Death's Door.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you can't get me to Death's Door now. So I bought myself a whole extra turn.
It's a true story. The site that's drawn here is going to matter so much. It's unbelievable.
Noble saying, love it in the final rounds. When Steven and Zach minority report the end game. Does that mean we're like predicting what's going to happen?
I think maybe we're just like dissecting the game regardless of our stakes in it. Okay. This is kind of a high... I guess I've got 2 cracks in my mind. I've got 2 cracks at it. Okay. So let's draw a site. Okay. Good. That's good. If you have another earthquake, that could be bad.
I send this up. Just devastating.
Okay, let's go play a site.
I don't...
Water. It really is not going to matter. It's just for that. And then I'll play a lava flow here. So I'll do 5 and 4 in a straight line.
Death's Door.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's mine.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We're going to be on it.
You're at 8.
8. It's the right number. I love lava flow.
It's very good.
That's exactly why it's because your Templars can move around and then you can target a 5/4. Like, that's crazy.
Is Intercept still exists?
Yes.
So let's just say I had someone here and here.
Mm-hmm.
If you move into those sites and don't attack, I can intercept it, right?
Yes.
Normally you're attacking.
Yeah, so it would look the same as defending in that particular case. Anytime I move into a site, enter a site. If I'm attacking that site, you defend. Or a unit at that site, you defend. If I'm not attacking, you can intercept.
Yeah. Okay. I'll swing here for 4.
Should I just remove these dice?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a...
You don't want to play to a tie? Where, like, if I swing with the Templar, we both die?
That would almost be winning. I guess I can get you to Death's Door. That's pretty annoying.
Oh, I guess that's right, because Giantess can't swing. I was thinking Giantess was on board.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it, yeah. Mystic Intercept's not technically gone. They're testing it not being played in the current TTS League.
You have 1 card in hand?
1 card.
That's relevant. Well.
You better hope it's not like a Blue Knight.
Well, it's really just you have a direct damage spell, like Lava Flow or whatever. But if I get you to Death's Door and I can intercept, that's the real play.
Changes the tuna.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's move here. I'll play a Violamp and do 2 to you.
Okay.
I will explosion you
Okay.
to get you to Death Door.
Yeah.
Then I'll play a Kettle Top here.
Boom. Bada boom boom boom. Bada boom 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 boom.
And I don't even know what Snowball does, but I think it could kill me.
No, it can't kill you. Not because of the intercept. Yeah, and then you've got a bunch of spells too. So what do I do?
Run for the hills.
I can't run. I mean, there's no winning there. What could possibly change the game
am
here?
very confident if I had not had Earthquake, you would have won this game.
Yes, that's true.
That was unbelievable.
I was two turns behind on both the lava flow and others.
I'm way out of this game.
Okay, so my only out here is drawing a Babbling Brook from my side deck.
Sounds like a bingo bongo to me.
Because I'm trying to think, like... I'm trying to think if there's any unit in my deck.
And what does Babbling Brook do for you?
Well, let me see if there's anything else that I could draw that would matter. There's no... Well... No, I couldn't play Blue Knight because I don't have the threshold anymore. Blue Knight would also potentially be a game winner here. I think it's going to be Babbling Brook. That's the only out I have. Because of Intercept, specifically. Without Intercept, I win the game right now. Yeah. Or at least, yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that rule existed until a couple months ago.
There's nowhere I can go that would protect me from dying because you come here with Siege Giant, throw, and attack. If I go here. Here, obviously, I die. Anywhere else, I die. I don't have any teleports or blinks or anything like that. I can play... My furthest most play a unit is here. And are there any units that would matter? None of the knights matter. Blue Knight can't play.
You have weird knights, though, right?
But they're not that weird. They come into play and...
Like, if you could play... I think you already played them, but Mordred.
Let's draw.
Oh, old Brooke.
It actually doesn't win me the game because I've got to tap to play it, unfortunately.
Then you're stuck.
Then I'm stuck in the same predicament.
So if you knew that, would you draw the site?
Well, I don't know that there's anything else. I don't think there's any other outs here. Because Leprechaun intercepts.
It's close.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll at least be able to... Yeah, I can't get away either. Bummer. What do I do? Do I do anything? Okay. I think that's it. That's it and that's all. I'll play the Brook and then die.
Get roasted.
Yeah.
That was so close. I got that. Earthquake is insane.
Could snowball you.
There it is. Let me just read this thing.
I can't get anywhere. So if I move here, you intercept. If I move there, you intercept.
I can't. It just goes straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it always does one because it picks up everything at the end site. So it'd pick up the sorcerer at the end, even if there's no units in the snowball.
Well, couldn't you? You could not die.
How that?
Can you move here and snowball that way and get rid of that?
Can't get rid of it. It would do 1 damage to itself.
Oh, I thought it scoops everything up.
It's equal to the number in the snowball. So like if it's here, it would pick up 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then do 4 damage to everything at the end of the
That would be good.
goal. That would be a great place to be for a snowball. That would be a game-winning place to be.
Yeah,
Right.
very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Close.
Yeah, but we could Babbling Brook here,
Shut
disable
those out.
these guys, and then Kettletop Leprechaun kills.
Yeah.
If I still had the Lance, if you hadn't removed it with your Giants, then
You'd
that
strike
wouldn't
first.
work.
Yeah.
And then this is Red red cap powers, which is probably a maybe cannot die. So I'd like drop it here, kill the imp, and move here.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm on borrowed time at that point.
And then you have to hope I don't have like a direct damage
Yes.
situation. But
Yes.
that was just completely Earthquake.
Yes.
These unique sites in Arthurian Legends get dunked on by Earthquake.
Yeah.
That is, I'd never even considered that.
You just kind of feel the power level in beta. There's some cards like Grapple Shot and Earthquake that are so good. It's hard to overcome.
It's also, I know, generally speaking, Arthurian Legends was designed for two priorities. One was limited, like sealed draft, which I think is phenomenal. The second one is in conjunction with beta.
Yes.
So a lot of you can imagine why they wouldn't print. We even noted like a lack of removal spells in this set. Well, if you already have a bunch of them in beta, you're just printing a bunch of the same kind of cards.
Yeah.
So it makes sense how they use the card slots and the art and stuff from the set. But that is an uphill battle. But still, if I just don't have particularly Earthquake.
Sure.
But the problem with the Arthurian Legends on the card pull against my deck so far has been there are a lot of different cards that just totally negate a big category. Whether it's Bower, clear, that's a problem. In this case, Earthquake, if you're relying on the back row locations.
Even the first game, Earthquake cleared out all threats.
Yeah.
I think they did what is tempting on the design side. I think Eric did this on purpose, right? This is early Magic too, is the removal is very cheap and very easy. And so units cease to matter unless they do something the turn they come in because they're too vulnerable.
Yeah.
So then you have a bunch of knights that are great if they stick around, but the removal from beta is so universal and easy that they tend not to stick around.
Yeah.
And so it's like the classic playing Fundies decks always get obliterated by the easy to remove the Clavex War Leaders and these kinds of things because it's not like bury a 3-cost unit. It's like good luck playing anything.
Yeah, my one Earthquake, or in the first game, getting rid of 2 of your cards. When cards are so finite, and that's also, part of it is if you were Avatar as an example, if you were or Sorcerer,
yeah,
that would hurt less. But when you're not, me trading up a card like that is like absurd. In that case,
devastation.
I got rid of 2 of your locations basically, which is the card cost on that is.
Yeah, like think about it.
I removed a unit and moved 2 locations.
That turn you did that, I play the thing and Death Store it because both now can happen. I can swing with Templar and swing with the horse, and so the next turn it's Snowball, and so I'm not even on Death's Door yet, and there's nowhere you can go that your intercept is going to kill me.
And you don't have to waste all your time drawing.
Two turns.
It's
crazy.
It's wild.
That Earthquake was nuts.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it.
Jesse, you do have to play the Knights on water sites, which you do your best to do, of course, but that's not always possible. And most of them are getting Earthquaked when they go in the turn after they actually go in to attack.
Thank you.
But that's where Babbling Brook is really good as an answer to turn 2 Imp. If you've got Brook as your second site, for instance, this is kind of what we're built to do, or something like this. Now your 2-cost Knights are much stronger right here. They can't be buried. Violent doesn't hit them. Kobolds don't hit them. You at least get a turn. You start to try to find ways. Can I shut down their removal somehow?
That's so funny
to think. They can't be earthquaked. They can't be buried. Water sites are a big deal.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's How are you feeling about the challenge at this point? Is it surmountable?
It feels to me like it's very much doable. I think we would just run the simulation until you got a bad hand.
So it reminds me a lot of when we were playing Heroic Marvel Champions.
Very much.
Where there's a string. I think even in that particular string of things that happened, if I just don't have an Earthquake specifically,
yeah,
I think you're way ahead of that in that game. Like I felt very behind.
Yeah.
That whole time. So
you could see the curve peel up as you started drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
And then it's like I was there in time, but the slowdown of the 2 threshold and 2 mana.
Too much.
That's too much.
It's just too much.
So crazy.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks,
and,
everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I don't think I could tweak this really any harder to get there. I think it's just a matter of simulations at this point, which is like, I don't know. Is that maybe we go to
we might
go to a different
evolve.
format.
Yeah, we'll see. We will not be playing sorcery next week, but next week will be fun. So you should be there for that.
What are we doing next week?
I can't say what we're doing next week yet.
Doing next week.
Surprises. I like surprises, and the stream schedule is apparently one where that's okay.
And you can find these Lancelot playmats on our website. They're available there, in limited quantity. Don't know how fast they'll sell, but they should be there for a little while.
Massive shout out to Liz for doing this art, for Extriosa for making it a promo art and putting on a playmat and working with us. Love this game.
Awesome.
Privileged to be here, and everyone watching and buying things from us. Wouldn't get to do this without you. So thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, everybody.